What's up, far, far away family? Welcome to Lightsaber Radio, the one place that you know that you can go to that you're going to get some outrageous shit and some fucking idiotic commentary about Star Wars. No.
Hey, speak for yourself. The idiotic side comes from Kyle. I got the educated side. I'm just kidding.
I'm pretty much, I say idiot shit all the time, but that's what makes it fun. Gotta have fun with Star Wars. Star Wars is all about fun. That's what a lot of people fail to realize. It's about having fun. It's about criticizing.
Yeah,
it's about
I failed to realize that.
Theories. It's about,
episode.
You got to criticize stuff. You got to put down the good, and you got to uplift the bad. That's part of Star Wars. That's why George made it to make us use our heads. He didn't make it just for us to sit back and, take it as it is. It's to have fun. That's why he left so many loopholes and stuff that we couldn't figure out and we didn't know. He made it, and then Disney took over, and then it just got worse. Anyway, let's get to the intro, and then we will get on today's topic because it's an amazing topic. It really is. It's going to be a fun topic because this is something that's been explored a lot within the fandom. So let's talk about it.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
At last we will reveal ourselves.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now tuned into Lightsaber Radio. If you only knew the power of Darth Sidious.
Here it comes. Let's go.
You are now tuned into Lightsaber Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
Okay, before we get going, I want to say all y'all are assholes. How long was Darth Maul hanging upside down that didn't nobody tell me?
Oh, last episode? I didn't even notice.
I just noticed that. Damn, he just hanging upside down. Why is Darth Maul upside down? Y'all are wrong for that. Y'all should have told me. Y'all should have told me that he wasn't there. I didn't know.
Like right now or last episode?
Yeah, I just realized it right now. But I'm like, how long has it been like that? 2, 3 episodes that I didn't notice it? I'm stupid.
Now I got to go back and check. Little Easter egg. Next time I'll do this picture behind me. I'll flip it upside down.
Yeah, that picture. You need to get a new picture up there. That bull was kind of fucking scary. I'd be having nightmares about this fucking bull stabbing me. Why is this fucking white and black bull charging me all the time? Now I see why. I gotta look at it all the time.
This one.
The fuck is that? A praying mantis leg, arm?
Do like a kangaroo behind me. It's a kangaroo skin. No, it's a kangaroo skin.
Fuck? You really have a kangaroo? Where the hell did you get a kangaroo skin from?
From Australia.
Oh, God. Okay.
I used to live in Australia.
Today we're going to be talking.
I told you that.
Did you tell me that? I have never seen that before. Are you sure you told me that? I do not remember you showing me a fucking kangaroo
I never
skin.
showed you that, but yeah, I used to live in Australia for a few years. Yeah,
Star Wars team leader said, watching on a small phone, so I couldn't see that. What's up, Chris? What's up, Darth Turt? What's happening? Star Wars team leader at work, but I'll be there. And I think we're gonna let Darth Arham. I think that's gonna be our
Hothbreaker.
Hothbreaker. He asked a very good question. He said, "What is everyone's earliest Star Wars memory?" All right, we'll get to that in a minute. But
I'll drop the Hothbreaker video.
yeah, we'll drop the Hothbreaker in and then we'll read it off again. Today we're going to be talking about what if the roles were reversed. What if when Obi-Wan told Yoda, I can't kill Anakin, Yoda was like, all right, you go fight Palpatine or Sidious and I'll go fight, Anakin. What would have happened? What would the outcome have been? This is a topic that has been discussed time and time again between the Star Wars fandom. A lot of people have came up with a lot of crazy thoughts about that, but I have, we're going to discuss it today because it's something we haven't talked about before. So we're going to discuss that today. But before we get to that, we have the Hothbreaker, our form of an icebreaker to get our outrageous juices flowing. All puns intended. And I said throwing instead of flowing because I'm not all here today. But it's all right. What's up, Nielsen? But we're going to jump to that Housebreaker. So drop that Housebreaker video and then we'll do it. Okay, everybody. Another thing I want to say, if you are one of those people that are just listening to this on a platform that only gives you audio, definitely come over here on YouTube or go on Spotify because the video can play on Spotify and check out the videos for the Housebreaker and the opening stuff. I had somebody said, I keep hearing these videos. Somebody asked in the comments, I keep hearing these videos. I think it was on Apple Podcasts because Apple doesn't show the video, or it was one of whichever one don't show the video. They said, I really wish I could see the video. What? Like, go on YouTube, go on Spotify, go on wherever the video is played, because I put it on everything, so, you know what I'm saying, you can listen to the video.
The Housebreaker's the best one, hands down. The Housebreaker's the best one.
I love the What If is pretty good, too, but, you know, we haven't done a What If in a long time.
We don't do What Ifs. I guess today we technically could do it.
Yeah, we could do it. Maybe we'll do the What If before we get to the What If. We actually start talking about
We'll do a What If before we do the What If?
Yeah, we'll do the What If. Okay, so...
With the Housebreaker. Good. It was in the comments. Today. Yeah, I like it. That's pretty good.
So what is the earliest Star Wars memory that you have? Like, the only one that I truly can remember, and I know I've seen it before, but the earliest memory for me was, and I've talked about this before, was getting my ass whooped by my mom because I cried when I seen Jabba the Hutt. Even though I'd already seen the movie, I cried when I seen Jabba the Hutt in the movie theater, and my mom had to take me out and whoop my ass because I was crying like a punk. That's my earliest memory of Star Wars.
But that's because like you were alive before Star Wars. So like for me, I wasn't. You weren't? Oh no,
Star
you were
Wars
alive
came out in like
That's right.
May. It came out in May. The original Star Wars came out in May. I was born in November. But we're talking about Return of the Jedi. I think I was like...
Return of the Jedi, you were... Okay.
I think the first time I seen it, I was like 5 or 6 or 7. And then we went to the movies. It was on at the movie theater. We had already seen it. I had already seen it already once. I think my sister had already took me to see it. And then my mom wanted to go see it, so she took us all to go see it again. And when I seen Jabba the Hutt, I started crying for some reason. I don't know why, but I started crying. He scared the shit out of me. Even though I had already seen the movie, and my mom had to take me out the movie theater and beat my ass, and then she spent all the money. At this time, we were staying in Alaska, so going to the movies was like $20 a pop, and this was freaking years ago. It's probably $100 to go to the movies in Alaska now.
God damn.
But it was expensive as shit. And she paid all that money for me, my little brother, and my sister to go. My dad didn't go. I don't think my dad was there. And I cried because I was scared of Jabba the Hutt, and she beat my ass. She took me out to the movie theater and beat my ass, and then we all had to leave because
you
I started crying like
movie.
A punk. But that's my earliest memory of Star Wars that I can remember. And it might just because it was traumatizing because I was scared of Jabba the Hutt and I got my ass whooped. So
interesting. See, and so I like most of the Star Wars would come out by the time I was born, like, or at least the original 3. Let's see, Phantom Menace came out in 99, right?
Yeah.
So I was born in 98. So like right before Phantom Menace came out.
God damn, you're young. I forget how young you are sometimes.
Yeah.
I was born in 98. Shit.
I was born in 98. So that's not that young. I feel like I'm old compared to most of the people I hang around with, I guess.
Well, you're old when it comes to criticizing shit, you asshole. Not joking.
That's true. That's true. I criticize that shit like I am an old man. I don't know what's wrong with me. Because I guess with like most of the Clone Wars fandom, I grew up, I was born around the same time as most Clone Wars fans. Like when Clone Wars started getting big, that was when I was a kid. But I don't know, I just never got into it.
Weird. That's why. It was anyway, in the Barbie. It's okay.
My earliest memory, dude, that's such a good question. I can honestly say, like, I don't know. I just like grew up and Star Wars was like always there, I guess. Like it wasn't like, oh, I remember the first time I watched Star Wars. I just like No, Star Wars. It was always the movie. I just remember my mom, like, because I know my dad liked Star Wars, and I'm assuming I must have grown up watching it with him because, like, I don't remember beginning to like football. I just liked it. So it was like Star Wars. Like, I don't remember beginning to like Star Wars. I just liked it because dad liked it. And I remember my mom would never let us watch Star Wars, like, ever. Once I got to a certain age, you know, when boys get hyper and they want to jump around, my mom never let me watch Star Wars because every time, like, literally without fail, every time I'd watch it, I want to bring out the toy lightsaber and run around the house, whack people, and just go crazy. And my mom, it drove her nuts. She'd be like,
Nelson
"No, you can't watch
said-
Star Wars because you're gonna go."
Nelson
What
asked
happened?
a question. He says Spotify doesn't show the video sometimes or on the Sway podcast. It's never on the Sway podcast. The Sway podcast don't have video. It's always audio. And then he says Return of the Jedi was the first movie I have ever watched as a kid. Then I remember being excited when my parents told me there was 2 more movies before this one. That's when I was hooked. Star Wars team leader says the first playing with Star Wars at the drive-in with the med break, the medium break, Alvin and the Chipmunks Strikes Back was the friend recorded back, and the Jedi was one of the only movies my dad went to. Chris says earliest is bringing the VHS box set of them. Fondest would be talking my 2 tall
those.
AT-AT and action figures out of the snow and playing the Hoth scene.
That box set, I remember that box set actually.
Yeah. Nielsen said, born in August of '89. For me, Darth Arm said, my parents brought me to the drive-in to see Star Wars A New Hope double feature with the original Logan's run. Yeah, I don't know, man. That time just sticks in my head just because I'm pretty sure it was very traumatic. I think that's why everything that I remember about Star Wars when I was younger was getting beaten, being scared of Jabba the Hutt. Shit, till this day, I'm 46 years. I'm about to be 46 years old in a couple months, and I'm still like Jabba the Hutt freaks me out. Like every time I watch Jabba the Hutt, it's just like ugh.
Jabba the Hutt in episode 6. In episode 4, he wasn't bad, but like that whole palace scene in episode 6, that was kind of scary.
Yeah, but the first time you seen Jabba the Hutt, you seen him in A New Hope with the remake. We didn't like the original didn't have Jabba the Hutt in it. That was the
I know.
Yeah, it didn't have a
when I grew up. No, because the first time I watched it on VHS, and he wasn't in the New Hope yet.
Yeah, that was the add-in shit that George added in to fucking.
But I kind of liked how that's one thing I was okay with them adding.
I don't know. I didn't like it. I was like, what the fuck? Why is Jabba the Hutt? Like, the first time I seen it, I watched it on TV. You know, it said The New Hope, so I turned it on and watched it. Where the fuck did Jabba the Hutt be in New Hope? What the hell is going on? This ain't Star Wars. So let me turn this bullshit off. Somebody done manipulated Star Wars and they're lying. But yeah, that was definitely my my first experience with Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt and ass whooping, being scared and getting beat for it like a punk. That's why it pops in my head all the time. Okay, so I guess we could drop the what if video. Let's drop the what if video before we get into the thing. We haven't watched it in a long time. I forgot if it's any good or not. I don't remember. Does anybody else remember? Let's find out.
It only takes one decision to decide the direction of the galaxy. A decision that will influence the outcome. But if that decision went the other way, reality as we know it would change forever. The galaxy would be on a different course. Things that have happened would cease to exist. A new narrative would be etched into creation. So we are going to analyze those other possibilities when we ask, what if?
Darth Yoda would be sick.
Yeah. That was kind of cool. I don't know. I did a pretty good job on that one, I think. Yeah. I don't know if it's better than a Hothbreaker. I think the Hothbreaker is better.
The first thing I want to ask, I want to get this out of the way. Do you think if Yoda went to confront Anakin, do you think he could have changed Anakin back to the light side?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because for me, if Yoda was the one to confront Palpatine the first time, like before Anakin strikes down Mace Windu, and Yoda was there, I feel like Yoda could have talked him down. I feel like Yoda could have stopped him from like cutting off Mace Windu's arm. I'm like convinced. But
don't know.
after he's killed the younglings, at this point, I think it might be too late, regardless. But
That's
I
a
think
hard
if
question.
Yoda was there instead of Mace Windu, I think
Anakin would have been a little bit. I think Anakin would have been a little bit more scared if Yoda would have popped up. He'd have been like, "Oh shit, I gotta fight Yoda." Like he already thinks he's better than Obi-Wan. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's been thinking that shit since the Clone Wars. He had been thinking that he's better than Obi-Wan. He's better than his man. He freaking tells Padme that Obi-Wan's holding him back. So then he comes off the ship, and I think that even enrages him more. Like, what are y'all fucking? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with y'all? You done snitched on me, you raggedy
that just pissed
bitch.
him off more.
Yeah, that just made him more mad. You know what I'm saying? So, but if it was Yoda that would have came off the ship, I don't know. He might have been able to get. I think at that point though, I think Anakin was too far gone.
No, I'm talking about if Yoda was there instead of Mace Windu. When Anakin first, remember when Anakin, when Mace Windu's holding down Palpatine with his lightsaber, right? And Anakin walks up, and Anakin cuts off Mace Windu's hand, right? If Yoda was there instead of Mace Windu, I feel like Yoda could have prevented Anakin from turning to the dark side in the first place.
Yeah.
Because Yoda, whenever Yoda and Anakin do talk, yeah, Yoda can be harsh sometimes, but he listens to Anakin and he gives some good advice. I feel like Yoda could have stopped Anakin. Mace Windu was just a little bit too harsh for Anakin.
Well,
Anakin
and then
bitch,
Anakin didn't like Mace Windu, so he always thought Mace Windu was
they didn't like each other. Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want Anakin it was Yoda the one that made the final call on Anakin being trained. Mace told him no. No, you will not be trained. And, so, you know what I'm saying? That was, with Anakin, Yoda's the one that gave Obi-Wan the okay to go ahead on and train him.
Right.
So, I think, yeah, you're probably right. If Yoda would have showed up, if Yoda would have been there with Mace, because if it wasn't for Mace, Yoda can't. We seen Yoda couldn't beat Palpatine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well,
he was close. I think it.
But
I think
you got to understand the circumstances was different as well. You know what I'm saying? The way that Sidious or Palpatine, whichever name you want to use, fought Mace Windu was different than the way he fought Yoda. When he fought Yoda, he used way more dark side power because he knew that lightsaber wasn't going to beat, you know what I'm saying, Yoda. But he thought he could beat Mace with a lightsaber. That's why he didn't use the dark side until he was already on the ground. You know what I'm saying? With Yoda, he came out using the dark side. So if it was Yoda and Mace wasn't there, I think Yoda would have probably beat him, and it would have been in the same thing. I don't think Anakin would have attacked Yoda. And I think Yoda just got more force control. Right. He would have felt it coming. And he might have, you know what I'm saying, combated Anakin.
Right.
And then he'd fight Anakin and Palpatine at the same time. But
I don't. Now we can get to the lightsaber battle. I was just thinking that before. I was like, all right, well, even before the lightsaber battle.
Honestly.
But now we can address the lightsaber battle.
So there's a lot of different speculations. Some people think that Anakin, because he's the chosen one, because basically his ability to control the Force was just as strong, if not stronger than Yoda, that Anakin could beat Yoda. The problem is that I think that the circumstances would have been different. You know what I'm saying? If Yoda would have walked off that fucking thing, I think Anakin would have been more scared. And at this point, he doesn't know how to transfer his fear into anger yet. Exactly. So I think that would have gave...
And I don't think with Obi-Wan, it was a more personal anger, right? With Yoda, I still feel like Anakin be angry, but the whole is Obi-Wan cheating, fucking Padme, and the whole Padme betrayal thing, it just would have gone very different, where I don't think Anakin could have been totally anger overload like he was against Obi-Wan. Against Yoda, I think it would be pretty different.
And I mean, we got to remember, and also Yoda is not, he doesn't love Anakin the way Obi-Wan did.
Right.
Obi-Wan left him on the side of the thing fire. I think Yoda, I don't even think it would have got that far if it was Yoda anyway, because Yoda's way better at lightsaber duel. Plus, he has way better control of the Force. You know what I'm saying? Even though Anakin is fucking dope as shit with a lightsaber, I do not think that Anakin could beat Yoda in a lightsaber duel. There's a lot of things going against you when you're fighting somebody that small, that, you know what I'm saying?
I definitely think the fight would have gone a lot bigger, because like Obi-Wan, like in the fight, is constantly like kind of backpedaling, and that's why they changed to so many different locations.
Well, I mean, and that's another thing, because Obi-Wan uses whatever the lightsaber form is. Form. Right. Yeah, he uses a defensive form. Anakin uses more of a attack form. So they're like counter-addictive, or they counter each other. You know, and that's one of the defensive forms. You wait till your person gets tired and makes a mistake, and that's basically what happened. He let Anakin get tired. He got the high ground. Anakin's overconfidence. He jumped over there and got his damn leg and arm cut off. You know what I'm saying? So but I think it would have never got that far. I think Yoda would have killed Anakin. Now, when you go on the opposite side of Darth Sidious, I don't think Obi-Wan had a shit chance in hell, because he'd have walked through the door and Palpatine would have just fried his ass and it'd have been done. Obi-Wan doesn't have the Force structure to block himself and to anticipate, because like, he zaps Yoda. He thinks he's won. Yoda's laying on the ground, and Yoda opens his eyes like, you really think you're that hard? You're not that hard. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think Obi-Wan, like that initial force that he shot Yoda with, that probably would have killed Obi-Wan.
It would have at least fried the shit out of him, and then he'd have got up, and it wouldn't have been Obi-Wan just opening his eyes.
Palpatine wouldn't even draw his lightsaber against Obi-Wan.
I don't think that. I don't think Obi-Wan. And don't get me now, older Obi-Wan, I think older Obi-Wan, you know, like when he let Vader kill him, I think he would have put up a pretty good battle against Palpatine, because now he's older, he's wiser. He's older, he's wiser, but when he's young, and he just, like, when he fought Anakin, I don't think he has no chance in hell of beating Palpatine. Palpatine's way too powerful for that. Yoda couldn't even beat Palpatine. You know what I'm saying? And it was the circumstances. It wasn't lightsaber combat that Palpatine beat him. Look how Palpatine was picking them damn things up and just chucking them. Palpatine has a very strong control of the Force. And I don't think that Anakin or that Obi-Wan, like, Yoda stopped that thing from flying. It's going downhill at that. He's throwing them down. And he's throwing them hard. And Yoda's ability, him. You know, Obi-Wan's not catching them like that.
No shot.
You know, and Obi-Wan doesn't have the agility to jump around like Yoda did to survive.
We saw, like, earlier in episode 3, Obi-Wan literally got force choked by Dooku and sent flying. Like, and imagine what Palpatine's doing. Palpatine's
Obi-Wan's not.
Yeah, Obi-Wan.
I think the outcome.
I'm sorry, Obi-Wan doesn't really have much of a shot.
I think the messed up thing about it is, when you think about the time, Anakin's done when he done massacred most of the Jedi and all the younglings in the temple, right? So he done wiped out a bunch of them. Then, if Yoda went to fight him, I think Yoda would have beat Anakin. Okay.
I agree. But the way I want to talk about that later.
Obi-Wan goes and fights Palpatine, right? Obi-Wan loses. So at some point, Obi-Wan and Palpatine are not Obi-Wan, but Yoda and Palpatine is going to fight again. Only thing Palpatine got to do is get another apprentice, send him out there in the world to kill the rest of the Jedi, and we're basically in the same predicament that we were in.
Nah, because I still think Anakin was very much a part of his plan. You know what I mean? Anakin wasn't just any other apprentice. I'm of the theory that Anakin was like the whole idea. You know, but you
still got to understand that you still, Palpatine still fights Yoda. You know what I'm saying? He still defeats Yoda, because even Yoda says it. He wasn't strong enough to beat him. You know what I'm saying? So you take Yoda. He's hiding. Palpatine still in control of the Galactic Senate. He's still the Chancellor.
Right, right.
They still outlaw all the Jedi. He just hires new enforcers and gets a new apprentice. They still get the Inquisitors. Still send out people to go hunt down the Jedi. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't have Vader in it and Obi-Wan. Them two people are gone. So their situation now, that part changes. Now, is there some stronger Jedis out there that come back and fight? Yeah, probably. Instead of just staying high like Balin, and you know what I'm saying, he doesn't turn to the dark side. They all join up together and they go fight Palpatine or whatever the situation may be. I think that scenario changes, but Palpatine still contains control of the new Empire.
Right, right.
Because Obi-Wan's not beating him. You know what I'm saying? Anakin's not beating Yoda. Then they still gonna battle off. Now, do they battle off right then, or do they battle off later? You know what I'm saying? Because the circumstances have changed. He got to still get back to Coruscant, do all that stuff. Circumstances change. Yoda might be able to beat Palpatine in their second duel, but now there has to be a whole new setup on how it comes. So the idea that it would change a lot is not, because Palpatine still contains control of the Senate. You know, the Sith are still in control. He still creates the Empire. He still outlaws the Jedi. You know, he still says back and says that they put a thing on the face. So I don't think the outcome would have changed as much, you know what I'm saying, as like a lot of people say, oh, Yoda kills Anakin and Obi-Wan gets defeated by Palpatine and, you know what I'm saying, everything's going to change. I don't think a lot is going to change. Only thing I think might change is, you know, the Jedis get together, because now you ain't got Vader hunting them down. He got to train a new, you know, a new apprentice. He got to get this new apprentice, and he got to train all the Inquisitors. So his work is a little bit more...
It would definitely be more unstable, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd have this solidified power. I don't think the Empire would last as long, or it would be a lot more turbulent in the first couple of years.
You got to think, most of the Jedis, they didn't know that Vader was Anakin.
Right.
They just knew this enforcer Sith dude was just wiping them out.
Shit up, yeah.
And fear is what sent a lot of them into hiding, and everybody was trying to get away from him because this dude was just massacring people. And nobody knew what happened inside the temple. So they just know that somebody came in there and killed all these other Jedi and killed everybody. They don't know where Obi-Wan is at. They don't know where Yoda's at. You know what I'm saying? They don't, at this point, they don't know that Obi-Wan's dead. They don't know that Anakin's dead. They don't know that the Sith didn't kill them. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. They just know that, you know, that this enforcer is out here just wiping people out. I'm pretty sure they probably think that the enforcer went in and wiped out the Jedi temple, all the Jedis and younglings in the temple. So that puts this. You go into the Jedi temple where there's, you know, hundreds of Jedi, and this one dude kills them all. Like, dude, that's gonna scare the shit out of you. Without, you know what I'm saying, Vader being around. They don't, I mean, I guess they would have whatever new apprentice Palpatine has, you know, they might have that same fear, but I don't think Vader, I don't know, Vader was a scary ass dude. You know what I'm saying? When you see Vader, you hear about Vader, you're like this dude in this big black outfit, this robot freaking half Grievous, half super Sith is killing everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because even when you think about it, even till the end of A New Hope or end of Return of the Jedi, you know what I'm saying, you don't really know that Palpatine's a Sith Lord. Everybody thinks Vader's the Sith. Palpatine's just Palpatine. You know what I'm saying? He's just the new Emperor, Emperor Palpatine. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that he's the Sith. So you don't know that he went in the Jedi temple and killed everybody. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know. Everything has to do with Vader. So knocking Vader out of the equation, I think the other Jedis would have came together more and they wouldn't have went into hiding the way that they did.
Right.
I think they would have came together more and they would have fought back. And I think that's one thing. Yeah. I think that would have been way more interesting than maybe what we got in the sequel trilogy. But you know what I'm saying? That would have been way more interesting than, you know what I'm saying, the you know what we got. But
I think, well, also, like, I think a lot of people would have like listened to the Jedi and like kind of trusted the Jedi. And you know, when you get rid of all the Jedi and there's not really any Jedi saying, "Hey, we're not traitors," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because so many Jedi went into hiding, you didn't really hear that other side. But I think if the Jedi didn't go into hiding, not as many Jedi were killed, a lot of people would have kind of listened and trusted to the Jedi and would have kind of
I think it would have just been a constant war. I don't think it would have been, because you got to remember, Palpatine gets up there, he gives a speech. Look at what the Jedi did to me.
Right.
All these sectors and all these people, and he's in control of the Separatists. So he's in control of everything. So he says, you know, blah, 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 this is what happened. You already got the Separatists hating the Jedi.
Right.
Then you get the entire, you know, the entire Senate to hate the Jedi. And there's nobody there to defend them because everybody's dead or in hiding.
Exactly.
So it's very hard to the concept of what would actually happen after that if Vader was dead. I think Vader plays a big impact, but, and I think Darth Sidious said the reign of the Empire would have been longer because there was no Vader to kill Palpatine. But at the same time, you have Luke. And
I think there would have been a rebellion started and a growing, like, influential rebellion a lot sooner. I don't think it would have been this transfer of power into the Empire as peacefully and as quickly as what we saw. I think it would have been a lot more tumultuous. It would have been a lot more conflicted, just because I feel like people would have listened to the Jedi. There would be a lot more opposition, I think. One thing I do think is the fight between, I think Palpatine wouldn't kill Obi-Wan. He would beat Obi-Wan. I think he would keep Obi-Wan alive because he knows that Anakin feels a certain way about Obi-Wan, and Anakin gets angry and upset with Obi-Wan. So I think he would want Anakin to kill Obi-Wan. He would keep Obi-Wan alive so that Anakin could do it himself.
Yeah, and you don't know that Anakin. Well, I don't know. He sensed that Anakin was in trouble. I think he would have really sensed he was in trouble if he had to fight Yoda. I think he would have been like, "Oh."
As soon as Obi-Wan walks in, Palpatine's going, "Fuck."
Like, all right, I got to kill this dude quickly because I got to get the hell out of here because Yoda's about to kill my damn apprentice.
But the Yoda and Obi-Wan, or the Yoda and Anakin fight, I think would be very different. I think Yoda would like talk to Anakin during the fight. And Anakin would get more, and I think he would say things that would show Anakin that he's wrong. And Anakin would just get more and more upset.
But you got to think about it like this. Anakin don't like to deal with consequences.
Yeah.
So Yoda talking to him, he knows he's still in too far. He done killed younglings and the whole Jedi Order. So
I know.
I don't think at that point Yoda could have talked him out of.
No. I'm not saying talked him out of it. I'm saying Yoda would talk to him, saying, "Look what you've done. You've done this, and because before, like, Darth Vader or Obi-Wan's like, I'm loyal to democracy, to the Republic, to democracy, and Anakin's like, if you're not with me, you're against me, because he's so pissed off at Obi-Wan right now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Yoda comes in. He's not really as pissed off with Yoda. Yoda's words are kind of gonna get through to Anakin, and Anakin's slowly gonna start realizing, holy shit, maybe I did fuck up. But he's in too late now. He's in too late. You're right. So he's just going to get more and more upset. The fact I fucked up, I'm in too deep now, and he's just going to get more pissed off at himself and at Yoda and just more frustrated with the entire situation. And Yoda's just going to keep toying with him like that until Vader just goes crazy and makes a stupid mistake.
Well, I mean, regardless of the situation, Yoda beats Anakin. I don't think Anakin...
I know. But I think that's how he would do it.
I mean, I don't think there's too many people that could beat fucking Yoda in a damn lightsaber duel.
Right.
Because you got to think about it. This dude is small as fuck, man. You know how hard the smaller something is, the harder to hit it. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's the reason that the target on a fucking bullseye is right in the middle and it's real little. It's harder to hit that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's harder to hit Yoda. Plus, he's jumping all over and he's fucking using the Force. He'll fuck you up. I would fight anybody over Yoda. Yoda's like the Mike Tyson of the Jedi. It's like a motherfucker like, oh man, I gotta fight you, but I really, really don't want to because you're about to fuck me up. This is gonna be bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Palpatine's somebody that's his ego is so strong, and he knows how powerful he is in the dark side. That's why he wasn't too much worried about Yoda. Now, I guarantee when Yoda walked in, he was a little bit scared, but I think Palpatine at this point, he already knows how to turn fear into anger, anger into hate into,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, dark side. So it just makes him stronger. His fear makes him stronger. And I think that that's one of the reasons that Yoda lost to Palpatine is because Yoda went in a little bit overconfident. Like, I'm 1,000 years old, you know what I'm saying, or 800 years old, or however old he is at that for freaking time, 875 years old. You know, he's like, dude, I don't. But you also got to remember that Yoda has never really faced a Sith before. Because the Sith wasn't around. Yoda was born in like the beginning of the High Republic, like the end of Darth Bane and, you know what I'm saying, all that. That's where Yoda was born. So, and then Yoda doesn't even come in, as we see by Grogu. At 50 years old, Yoda's still a baby. He's still a little toddler. So, you know, he don't even start his like Jedi training until he's in his like hundreds. And then he goes all the way to becoming the Grand Master. But he's never faced a Sith Lord before. He doesn't really know the power that the Sith has. Everything is all, you know what I'm saying, stuff that he's read and stuff like that. When you got somebody that can anticipate your moves, that can look into the future and stuff that Sith ain't even supposed to be able to do anyway, you know what I'm saying, the dark side doesn't give you the ability to have premonitions. You know what I'm saying? You don't get force visions and stuff. The dark side don't let you do that. And for Palpatine to be able to do that, that's what made him one of the most powerful Sith ever. And I think Yoda kind of went in overconfident, and he really didn't know what he was getting into. He just knew that Obi-Wan wasn't no match for him. He was like, dude, there ain't no way in hell you could beat him. He was like, I'm going to have some trouble seeing if I can beat him. I think, really, if it was me and I was Yoda, I would have said, we're going to go face him together. Let Anakin go to fucking Mustafar duel. Right. We got to take this dude on together. This dude's a powerful Sith Lord, and he's in control of everything. And I think a little bit of the reason that Yoda was strong enough to survive, but he wasn't strong enough to beat him. I think him and Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan could have distracted Palpatine and gave Yoda enough time to get him.
I think Obi-Wan
would have died.
I think Yoda... I think Yoda could have killed Palpatine. I just think as they were fighting, he realized we've already lost. We have already lost. Even if I kill Palpatine, we have already lost at this point. So that's why he decides it's better for him to go into hiding. Nothing that Yoda does at this point is going to change anything. He's already lost. So that's why instead of... I still think he could have killed Palpatine right there. I think he was stronger than Palpatine. I think even after he fell, he could have jumped back up and still killed Palpatine. But I think he had realized we've already lost at this point. Yeah. And that's why he went into hiding. You know what I mean?
Chris says Kenobi would get bitch slapped by Sidious. Yoda and Anakin would have been a great fight, but I don't know. If Yoda would have been able to kill Anakin, and I might edge out Anakin in the battle. Then he says, like I think Yoda might not have had the strength to kill Anakin. Like I could see him trying to bring him back to the light, but would fail. Reign of the Empire would have been longer because there would have been no Vader. No Vader betrayed, that is, tossing him down the shaft. Yoda would have mentioned... Yoda wouldn't have had mentioned anything about having the higher ground. I bet, no, he wouldn't have. Kristen says, I think the Jedi would still be in hiding for a while, even if Sidious was killed. Order 66 still in play, unless the Order dies with Sidious, then they still aren't in the clear. That would have sucked if you would have raised your kids for hundreds of years before they're grown. Hundreds of years. Potty train, yeah. Star Wars team. That's a good point. Just imagine. I wonder if fucking does Grogu still wear diapers and shit? You know, he is a fucking toddler. Like, is he potty trained yet? Does he know not to go to the bathroom? Yeah, he's pretty smart enough to use the Force and fucking throw shit around. So I'm pretty sure he don't shit on himself no more. But yeah, that's a good point. Just imagine 100 years of the terrible twos. Oh, that was sick.
Yeah.
that was suck. But you just got. I mean, when you really think about it, it's the biggest detrimental part in the whole situation is Vader. Because Vader is what everyone is scared of. Like, because nobody really knows except maybe a few Jedi that Palpatine is a Sith Lord. Everybody else is like this fucking enforcer, the Emperor's enforcer is out here murking everybody. Like, every Jedi that he faces, he kills. You know what I'm saying? Not only just because it's Vader, but two, because he got 1,000 stormtroopers with him just massacring every Jedi. So it's not like you're just going out there. It's not like you're just going out there to fight, you know what I'm saying, Vader. You're going out there to fight the entire fucking stormtrooper battalion that he had. And clone troopers at first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's one of those situations where it's, dude, you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't. But I would rather go out there in a legion of stormtroopers and fight against them than I would against Vader and a legion of stormtroopers. Or clone troopers, because, dude, it's hard enough just to be Vader. So you're going into every situation with fear. So what is the best thing to do? I'm staying the fuck hidden. I'm not using the Force. I'm not doing shit. I'm hiding. Because if not, and then you got Inquisitors that come along the way, and they're helping. You know what I'm saying? 10 years down the road, now you got Vader and Inquisitors and Stormtroopers. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just one of those bad things.
Yeah.
Angelina, Serena. Hello, did you both like Ahsoka? What was your reaction to seeing Anakin in Ahsoka? I don't know if that's Anakin. I think that's not really Anakin. I think that's Vader. That's my personal opinion. I don't know. I think.
Because, that's actually a good question. I don't know. It's debated because when we see Anakin come back as a Force ghost, he's wearing light Jedi robes. If you look in Episode 6, he's wearing the light robes, and he never wears light robes when he was, a human. So why does he wear brown Jedi robes when he's a Force ghost? Because I think he had become fully good. I think there was always a little bit of evil in Anakin, and I think the brown robes kind of represent Anakin is no longer has, you know what I mean? It's a symbol of his transformation. Exactly. The fact that he's wearing dark robes kind of lends to your point, Anakin, where it's this might be Darth Vader, or it's more of a memory of Anakin when he was still Anakin, not full Anakin Skywalker. This is still kind of evil.
I'm just hopeful that he's like Vader and he's fighting her and they get into a fight. I want to see that. That would be dope. Round 2 of her and Vader fighting. I want to see that. But I have a feeling it's just going to be a bunch of them talking and him telling her what she needs to do in order to beat the thing. And I think the reason that they brought the worlds between worlds, because I've been thinking about this for a minute. The reason they brought the world between worlds, because the world between worlds is how Ahsoka is going to get to where Thrawn and Ezra is at.
Oh, so and so she's going to show up at the same time as Baylan. That would be so weird, though.
She can use the portal to get to where Ezra and them is at, because now she's in the world between worlds, and that's basically a gateway between all galaxies, all universes, all, everything. And I think that Anakin's going to show her the gateway that she needs to go through in order to do it. And he's going to give her some wise words about being a better master and being a better, what I'm saying?
I don't think it's Anakin's Force Ghost. I think it's just Ahsoka in her head.
Yeah.
I don't think that is Anakin at all.
Because he don't have no blue ring around him. Why wouldn't they put a blue ring around him? I mean, I understand the world between worlds is all blue and, you know what I'm saying? But, make him look like a Force ghost if he's going to be a Force ghost.
I think it's in Ahsoka's head. I don't think it's Anakin. Number one. Number two, the fact of him even being in the episode, I'm not a fan of to begin with.
I mean, I wasn't, I'm always down to see Anakin. Anakin probably the number one character within Star Wars. It's always cool to see and hear Anakin, but at the same time, I think it's more of a fan service than it has to do with the overall story.
No, I think it's 100%.
I think they're jumping on the story part.
if it was meant to be an emotional moment, they would have talked about Anakin a little bit more in the show. Ahsoka would be reflecting about Anakin, would be thinking about Anakin. They would mention Anakin a little bit more. Besides her fight with Baylan, that's the only time they ever mentioned Anakin. Besides that, we haven't even heard of him. So Anakin is very much just a fan service, meant to get a reaction off of a character that the show hasn't done anything to talk about. It's just feeding off of people's memory of Anakin.
You got to have Anakin if you have
pure
Ahsoka, because her memory of Anakin is always a part of her. You know, that was her master.
I'm aware.
And I think them
but
bringing
in the show,
Baylan,
it hasn't talked about that.
I think Baylan bringing up Anakin at the point lets her know his power, his age. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a good thing to do, because then it gave us more of his backstory. He's been around for a long time. He knew who Anakin was. He, you know, and the way he says it, everybody knew Anakin. You know, not necessarily did he like talked with Anakin, but everybody knew of Anakin, and everybody knew what Anakin thought of you. You know what I'm saying? So I think it added to the story. It gave us a little bit of backstory about Baylan. But Anakin being in the story, like the only thing, because I really sat down and I thought about this, and I was sitting there like, what is the purpose of the world between worlds, and why would Anakin even be there? Like Vader, maybe, because Vader was trying to kill her, and maybe Vader figured out a way, or Palpatine figured out a way to put him there. And we know Palpatine is still alive. I have a feeling this is going to kind of lead into that as well, because we know Palpatine. So Palpatine uses some type of force magic, because we know that's how he got into the world between worlds, was using force magic. It shows us, you know, how much Palpatine played in the background, even though we're not seeing it, even though we believe that he's dead. But I think it's more that I really think that it's going to be more of, she's in the world between worlds. She's actually in the world between worlds. Maybe she fell into the water. That's where the portal was for that world, or somebody pulled her in, or something like that. Because that, you got to remember, they left. They're the only ones with the knowledge on how to get to there. So Sabine is there. So you know Ahsoka got to go after her. How? She has no way to get there. So the world between worlds gives us direct contact to where Ezra and Thrawn is at. And I think the Force Ghost, I think it is an actual Force Ghost of Anakin Skywalker, or some way that he got into the world between worlds as a Force Ghost. And he shows her which gateway that she needs to take to get to what world Ezra and Thrawn is on, or where they're at to get there. I think that's the idea that Dave was going, because with the world between worlds, time, space, all that shit is not. It's basically the multiverse of fucking Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? It's the gateways towards the fuck. Even though it's not like a multiverse, because there's not multiple fucking. It's just a fucking portal thing. But anyway, and I think that's what's going to happen. That's my personal opinion. I think that's what we're going to see next week. I think next week's episode is going to be slow. It's going to be very dialogue driven. I think there's going to be a lot of talking. We might get some quick action at the end to keep us hooked a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be an action-packed episode where it's a lot of stuff going on. I think it's going to be a lot of Anakin and Ahsoka talking, and I think that's how she gets to where Sabine is at to help rescue her. That's the only thing that I can come up with a conclusion that makes sense for the storyline. Because she lost. She has to get to Sabine. She knows Sabine is still alive. So she has to be able to get to Sabine. They don't know how to follow them. They don't have the map. Baylan destroyed the map. So she has to use the world between worlds to get to Thrawn and Ezra. And that's if Ezra, I don't know. I have a feeling that, like, we're not going to actually see Ezra, like the person of Ezra. I have this gut feeling that we're not going to see Ezra. What we got of Ezra is the little communication thing, and that's all we're going to get of Ezra this season. I think they're going to find Thrawn. I think Ezra's gone, or something. I just had this real bad gut feeling that we're not going to see Ezra, because I want to see Ezra. So usually whatever I want, that's what I don't get. So you know what I'm saying? But I think that's the only direction in which that they can go to make sense on how Ahsoka gets to where they're at.
Nelson, I have
other
heard
than
a
the
rumor
tracker,
like that.
I guess the tracker that's on Baylan's ship, or on the ship when they took whoever ship it is that Mark and
because
Shin
they
was
put a
on.
tracker on the.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
still don't know how a tracker
I don't
can
think a
track
tracker. I
that
think
far away.
that's probably out of range.
Yeah, that's they're in a totally different galaxy. So I thought about that, and I said, you know what, the only way she can get there is the world between worlds. So they had to put something in there to get her to Sabine. And the only way Ahsoka can get to Sabine is through the world between worlds. That's why they put it in there. That's the only way that they could explain it. Unless, saying somehow the map, they can repair the map, or and that's just too much. That's just way too hard to try to fucking repair a map that a lightsaber went through and all this shit.
No, the
fucking
map's
figure out a
toast.
way.
Map's
Yeah.
toast.
So the only other way is the world between worlds. It's the only thing that really makes sense. And I'm kind of excited because I want to see. I was a fan of the world between worlds. Part. I liked it. I thought it brought a lot of interest to the thing. It showed another way that the Force works. And I want to see if they put the owl in there. They already put a lost cat in there. I want to see what the owl thing, the mortis owl or whatever it is, just flying around, the Force owl is flying around. I want to see that. So, you know what I'm saying? They can add some stuff in there. It could be fun. We'll have to see. I'm not going to say I'm super excited just because I don't want a fucking episode that's 80% dialogue. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's just going to be way too boring. I want to, give me equal amount of dialogue.
Well, I
especially because
said,
the dialogue is very kid friendly in this.
Yes, it's very simple. In order to avoid feathers, I'll just say it's simple and it's okay. But I still think that a dialogue heavy episode is gonna be tricky because again, I think she's kind of a dry character thus far. Like whenever we have scenes of her just talking, they've been pretty dry scenes. And
I went back.
The war between worlds, like in the background, it wasn't that engaging. So I think them just sitting around talking in the world between worlds will be it's going to be tricky to do because it will be kind of boring.
That's why I was hoping that he would actually be Vader, you know what I'm saying, and they fight, or he shows her some type of training to beat Balin, or some type of action that happens in the world between worlds that it doesn't make it. But I have a feeling it's just going to be a lot of dialogue, a lot of him and her going back and forth about explaining what happened, what's going on. I think he tells her the story. I think we might get some flashbacks. But I don't think it's going to be, that engaging. I think they're going to wait I think this episode and episode 6 is going to be kind of, a lot more storytelling, story-driven. And I think they're going to put a lot of action in 7 and 8. I think there's going to be a lot of action in 7 and 8. So they're split, instead of splitting up the episode with action and dialogue. I think that they're going to do 2, more dialogue states of the next 2 episodes, and then the last 2 episodes, a lot of action, a lot of high-paced stuff, a lot of stuff going on, which is okay with me. As long as it doesn't differ from the actual story, I'm okay with that.
Right.
Yeah, Maury. The Maury owl. Angela said the Maury owl. Let's see. What if it's not Anakin at all? Maybe it's just a Force guide for Ahsoka, and it takes a form of a person that she held dear, and it was help show her what she needs to see. It's possible. It's definitely possible. I mean, we seen I don't know, because when we seen Yoda in Rebels, it was Yoda. It was Yoda's Force Ghost talking inside the Force to Ezra. So I don't know if that, and Kanan. I mean, he talks to Ezra and Kanan within the series. He talks to Ahsoka in the series. Yoda does. So I don't know. I don't know if it would just. I mean, it could be any. I mean, it could be anybody. It could be her imagination. In all reality, I mean, she could just be at the bottom of the thing, knocked out right now, and she's just dreaming all this. And she gets up, and I mean, they talk or whatever, and she gets up, and they figure out a way to. Like the tracker scenario, I mean, they might use that, but I just don't. I think it's too far away. I think Dave is not going to be like, you can't track into a whole another galaxy, but we don't know until we see the episode. I mean, that's definitely a possibility, because then that would include Hera into the episode more. I mean, it might be Hera the one that wakes her up at the end. I mean, if it's something like it's just, all this is a Force vision, it might be that Hera's the one that finds her at the bottom of the thing, or bottom of the drop off, and Hera wakes her up and they get her to the thing, get her to the med bay or whatever, get her somewhere where she can get, fixed up. I mean, there's definitely a lot of possibilities. I have a feeling it's either going to be her imagination, or they're going to use the world between worlds for. I think she's actually in the world between the worlds, because that's the only thing that I can come up with that makes sense to follow. For her to get to
follow them.
Her to get
there. I don't think they're ever going to get back. I think she's going to go, because if we look at it, like, that's part of the problem you have when you make series that you're trying to make all big and climactic in between two trilogies that we already know. We already know in The Force Awakens, like, where's Thrawn? Where's Ahsoka? You know what I mean? So I'm assuming that Ahsoka and them are going to be stuck in whatever galaxy they're at, while
it's not Ahsoka.
The sequel trilogy, Ahsoka, I think, will get there from the world between worlds, and they'll be in that other galaxy while the sequel trilogy happens.
But my only thing about, and that was something else, like, if there's a portal to that planet, why hasn't Ezra found it and came back?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of questioning. I have a lot of different ideas, because I've been thinking about it a lot, because I'm trying to figure out what path. Because if I don't figure it out, it'll surprise me, because I'm pretty sure that the whole purpose of the world between worlds is so Ahsoka can get to Sabine. And find Ezra. And then I think that, of course, Sabine, Ahsoka will fight with Thrawn to keep him from coming back. And, you might be right. They might be all stuck there, because just because Thrawn's in it doesn't mean that they come back this season. I don't know. It's hard to see. So far, like I said, I like it. I like the series so far. It feels very Star Wars to me. But I don't know. I just have a hard concept of what's going to happen. Like, Dave's tricky. Dave can go a lot of different ways. Like, and I can see Dave making this just she's imagining all this, to keep her Force in her body. Keep her, not letting her go into the Force, because she done fell off this big ass thing and landed on these rocks or in the water.
The only other possibility I could see, what I could see happening is, because we know Dave is convinced that Luke Skywalker or Anakin Skywalker is the chosen one, right? And the sequels kind of defeat that. The sequels with the sequels that happen, it kind of like, all right, what was the point of Anakin Skywalker? That's one of the biggest problems of the sequels, is that, all right, what was the point of the first 6 movies we just watched? This was bullshit. You know what I mean? So I think what we could see is Anakin, this Force ghost, whatever he is, existing in this world between worlds and kind of pulling strings in order to, like, from behind the scenes, in order to defeat Palpatine again in the sequel trilogy. Does that make sense?
But then
and him being the chosen one without being, like, actually alive.
That could be a possibility. I don't know. And there's some random thing I seen online on one of the websites that, like, showed how the movies and the series is going to come out, and they done moved Dave's movie up because of Ahsoka. And I'm like, I don't know if they have time to make that, because, I mean, they got to merge all these stories together. That's like the big thing. They're merging all these stories together so we see the fight of the First Order. When the First Order starts. That's what they're doing, because they're leading us to where the First Order starts, so we know. So then the sequels make sense.
It's going to be hard, though, because, again, I don't know how many people are watching this Ahsoka series. We know a lot of people didn't watch Boba Fett. We know a lot of people didn't watch Obi-Wan. We know less people watched Mandalorian season 3.
Or liked, not watched, because they were all watched. They all had fucking shit ton of watches. They weren't highly liked.
Yeah, but we don't know how many people are watching this
But-
Ahsoka,
Oh,
right? And I feel like, and a whole lot of people have watched Rebels. That's why some people are confused about the Ahsoka thing. So that's why, like, I don't know how it's going to be hard to tie all these characters in while still making it make sense and not having people be lost if you make another movie series with all these people. Because so far, to me,
well,
I
the
think
movie is
Ahsoka's a
going
little
to be
sloppy
that.
and
That's what
weird.
the movie is going to be.
I
Not
know.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi won't be in
No.
it because, of course,
But I
Obi-Wan
know that's what the
Kenobi is
movie
dead.
is.
But the
I know
movie
that's what
that
the movie
David is writing, or it's done, written, and everything, it brings all the stuff between the seasons of, Skeleton Crew, the Acolyte. I don't know about the Acolyte because Acolyte is before this. But all of this stuff that we have now, Book of
Right.
Boba Fett, all of these
Mando.
characters that we have within the trilogy or within the series that are out right now are supposed to go into the end. And basically, it's where the concept of where the First Order comes into the line, because we never got to explain it. Where did the First Order come from? I thought the fucking Empire was destroyed. Who the hell is these First Order people? Who the hell is fucking, you know what I'm saying? Even though we know that fucking Snoke was made by Palpatine, and they explained that in the last movie, like, where did he come from? Like, when did he come into picture? We don't have any of this information, and that's supposed to lead us up to this, to that point. That's the point of the movie. Unless they make the movie sooner, they get rid of all this stuff, and then the First Order comes in, they make another series about the First Order or something. But we know it's supposed to be leading towards this goal. And I think it's going to be like the Bad Batch, even the animated series, from what my understanding of the stuff that I read off of Star Wars.com is, it's all supposed to lead up to his movie. Everything, all the animation series, all the series are supposed to lead up to the beginning of the First Order, or lead in that direction. So we still don't know. And, there's going to be multiple seasons of Ahsoka. From what's been put out, there's supposed to be multiple seasons of Ahsoka. Skeleton Crew still got to come out. We still have, I think they might still bring out like Lando, the Lando series. But that's going to be way before time, so that doesn't apply to this time period. And I don't know. I think that there's some. I think there's some ways to go. I just don't know how they gonna get there. I know Thrawn comes back, but somewhere he gets killed. Maybe Snoke kills him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Palpatine has him killed. We don't know what the scenario is until we get to the movie, or to further along in. For all we know, they have a Thrawn series come out once Thrawn comes back. We don't know what else they're gonna put out, because and I don't know, like I said, I just read off of some shit online that this is a prediction that they were having. But, it's not till 2029 that, the movie is supposed to come out. So, we got a long while before this movie comes out. And for Ahsoka, yeah, a lot of people watch Ahsoka.
You think so?
Yeah,
All right.
I just looked it up. A lot of people watch Ahsoka. Ahsoka's one of the highest rated shows on TV right now, so people are watching it. Or on streaming. They say like 14 million people watched just the first episode. That's a lot of fucking people. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that I have a feeling, and this is just my opinion, is that the world between worlds is how they get there.
Yeah, but the second episode only had 900,000.
On what? What are you looking on?
I'm assuming the one you looked on, because it just said 14 million views.
I mean, it could have the same. Let's see.
I don't know.
Let's
I guess
look
we'll
up.
see. They'll probably come out with the better numbers once it's all done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you got to add about 10 million for people that are pirating that shit. There's about 10 million people pirate every day.
10 million?
At least 10 million. But I don't know where it's gonna go. But I would love to see Ahsoka whoop Anakin's ass. That would be dope. That would be dope. I think Anakin is going to show Ahsoka.
Anakin would smack Ahsoka.
What do you mean?
Are you kidding me? You think Ahsoka
he barely
could
beat her the
Anakin?
first time. Oh yeah, that's true.
You mean in like Rebels?
Yeah.
He was Darth Vader in a fucking thing.
Yeah. Now he's.
I still
Anakin.
think, bro, Ahsoka is a little bit overrated. I think.
Dude, not if you watch her in like Rebels and shit. She's fucking dope as shit. Ahsoka's probably one of the best lightsaber duels, and she created her own fucking lightsaber form. Like, she literally created her own lightsaber form. Ahsoka's dope as shit when it comes to lightsaber battle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but she's not beating the fucking Chosen One.
But
she's not
Anakin's lightsaber shit was not fucking... You know what I'm saying? Like, he was good, but fuck, he couldn't even beat Yoda. I think Ahsoka could beat Yoda. Her fucking, like, not Rosario Dawson Ahsoka.
No shot.
Fuck
No
yeah,
shot.
Hell yeah. Ahsoka was fucking dope. She was taking
Yoda,
on like
you're
fucking
out of your
3
mind,
Inquisitors
dog.
by herself and winning. You know what I'm saying?
No
Ahsoka's
shot.
dope. Ahsoka's dope as shit. Ahsoka took like the whole 501 battalion on. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, no
Just
shot.
her and Rex.
Yoda.
Her
You're out
and
of
Rex
your
like
mind if you think she's taking out Yoda.
like fucking the 501st fucking ain't that who Anakin walked in with?
Yeah, and didn't we see Yoda fucking wrecking the 501st? Fucking
No, that was after that. That was just the
jumping on him,
fucking
taking the lightsaber out.
That was just the fucking soldiers that was fucking left there. Like, when Ahsoka... Okay, wait a minute. I might be wrong here because this is all happening around the same time, so it can't be the 501st in fucking Clone Wars season 7 and going into the temple at the same time. So who went into the temple with Anakin?
That was the 501st.
Then how was the 501st? Because 501st was on the fucking the ship with no, it was Ahsoka. Who does Ahsoka lead? No, yeah, because Rex was there. Isn't Rex the leader of the 501st?
Yeah.
So they were both happening around the same time, and the 501st was in 2 different places at one time. Because Rex and Ahsoka takes on, like, the 501st goes into the Jedi Temple with fucking Anakin, and they wipe out every Jedi in that motherfucker. Other than the people that escaped, the few people that escaped. They go in there and fight and wipe them motherfuckers out. Ahsoka took on the 501st in the thing, and she escapes. Like, her and Rex fucking get away, and they kill like a shit ton of them motherfuckers. Like a shit ton. So that tells you right there how dope Ahsoka is. Like, Ahsoka's fucking super dope. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, a lot of people, just Rosario Dawson, she can't do what Ahsoka does.
Ahsoka led the 332nd Company.
So then
it's within the 501st.
So they split
so
the
501st is a legion, and the 332nd Company is a company within the 501st. But when, according to like Wikipedia, when Anakin stormed the Jedi Temple, the 501st was around it, but most of the clones that actually went in and killed Jedis were commandos.
It still doesn't matter. She was taking out everybody on that damn ship. She took out everybody. She was fucking it, just her and Rex by themselves.
But she's not stronger than Anakin or Yoda.
Shit, I think she could whoop both of them. If you watch her in the fucking cartoon, she's way fucking more agile and better at fucking lightsaber. Everybody, like,
which
she
further proves my point why this
ever.
TV show sucks ass.
No, the TV show don't suck ass. It just Rosario Dawson can't, like, dude, you'd have to get like a fucking elite fucking acrobatic person to play
this
Ahsoka.
Is a hot take that we might talk about another time, but I think fan casting is not always the right casting.
No, I mean, they just went out there because she kind of looks like what Ahsoka looked like in Rebels.
She looks just like Ahsoka. I'll give it to her. She looks like Ahsoka.
That's what they went out. Well, you know, you want your actor to look like it. You don't go, and then you want somebody that can fucking halfway act. You don't want somebody. You can't go get a fucking chick off the Olympic fucking athletic team, and fucking here you're gonna come be an Ahsoka because we need you to be able to do triple backflips and
stunt double
into a fucking splits and shit like that. Yeah, but then she has to look like Rosario Dawson. Rosario Dawson is kind of tall. How tall is Rosario Dawson? Like 5'8", maybe 5'7", 5'8", and then you go into fucking the Olympics where these girls is 4'10". You know what I'm saying? They're fucking like it doesn't work like that. You know you can't have both.
She's 5'7".
Yeah, so, like I said, she's 5'7", and you look
she's
at most
tall.
Olympic. You look at most Olympic fucking like the people on the tarps and the people that's doing all the fucking crazy acrobatics. They're short. They're not very tall.
Well, we got gymnasts that are that tall. There's
No,
some.
most of the time they're short. Like most of the fucking ones.
I know
they're short.
most of the time, but it's not like they don't exist, bro.
Yeah, but you're just going, okay, you're 5'7". We need you to be this tall to play this part. We got to find this part. Okay, we're going to get this gymnast. She might not even look nothing like Ahsoka. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I understand that.
There's a lot of things that go into that. So, but you're not going to get Rosario Dawson to fucking do a triple fucking backflip
Right,
into
so
the
maybe
splits,
don't
chop
cast
the motherfucking
Rosario
legs
Dawson
off.
is what I'm saying.
It's not that Rosario Dawson is playing the part well, though. She just is not acrobatic. Like her part, Ahsoka's a very serious person at the end of Rebels. Everything is very serious with her. She's playing the part very well. She's very serious. You know what I'm saying? She's playing Ahsoka excellent compared to what happens by the end of Rebels. Ahsoka is very serious. She's very controlled. She's very into the position that she needs to play. Everything is all about the Force. Mm-hmm. That's exactly who Rosario Dawson is playing in this part. She's doing a great job playing it. She's just not.
She's doing what she's supposed to do, but there's something off, bro. You can't argue.
I don't feel
she
it.
does come across kind of dry.
Well, Ahsoka's dry in Rebels. That's just her character. Her character is supposed to be fucking very serious. It's very hard when somebody always talks in monotone.
Like I said,
but you got to see at the end of it, it didn't feel like that. You can't say that at the end of the last episode feel like that when she's like, Sabine. You know what I'm saying? She had a lot more emotion within herself. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's an emotional time. She plays the part very fucking well.
Maybe. I disagree, but that's okay.
You disagree with everything. You think fucking Ahsoka you don't like Rebels, so fuck you, man.
I know.
Rebels is the shit. I think Anakin is going to show, Chris says, I think Anakin is going to show Ahsoka Babylonians background so she can, however you say that shit, understand him and possibly bring him back to the light since we see that he isn't completely dark side. I don't know. She couldn't bring him back when Vader was trying to kill her ass on Malachor. I don't know. It's one of those things. Like we can speculate everything, but we are talking about Dave. You know what I'm saying? Dave could just do fucking anything. Dave does not write to the fucking shit that he's different. He's a true writer. He don't write what we want to see. He writes what he wants to write. And if we like it, we like it. If we don't, fuck us. That's the way Dave feels. That's why he's fucking a great writer. I don't necessarily think that. I mean, I think it's a fan service because, of course, Disney put Hayden in there.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's going to apply to the story. If what I am envisioning in my head happens, it's going to be a part of the story. So it will make sense. As long as it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? But just don't put somebody in there just to put somebody in there. Because we could have done without the fucking whole Luke Skywalker and the Mandalorian. Like, it would not have changed the story that much if they would have, escaped the room. Luke didn't go, fucking Grogu didn't go with Luke, and he just stayed with Mando. We'd be in the exact same position right now. It wouldn't have changed anything. So, fan casting doesn't always make sense. Or fan servicing and putting somebody in a series to bring views doesn't always make sense because you can end up at the same place without having to do that. So, ultimately, I know we just got on an Ahsoka tangent for 10 minutes or for 30 minutes. Thanks, Angela. or Angelina. Is it Angelina? Yeah, it's Angelina. I'm sorry, I'm just saying Angela. It's Angelina. But I think that it's definitely one of those things that it could go either way. Now back to our original thing. I personally don't think that it would have changed that much if Anakin fought Yoda and if Palpatine fought. We would just have 2 less characters within the series. You know what I'm saying? Basically, everybody survived in a fight. I don't believe everybody would have survived if the roles were reversed. I don't believe it. I think we'd had. I think everything would have turned out about the same. It just been a little bit different, but I think it would have been. I don't think it would have changed the outcome in the long run. The Empire was still taking over, and Jedi was still gonna be some hiding bitches.
I think it was too. Yeah.
Okay.
But honestly, I could also see Yoda. The one last theory is because you see Yoda when he's fighting Palpatine, realizes we've already lost, and decides to go into hiding. I could see Yoda possibly sparing Anakin in order to play the whole children card. And him taking Luke and watching over Luke, and I could kind of see something going that way.
I don't know. I mean, I definitely could see Yoda watching over Luke and training Luke. That would be way doper if Yoda trained Luke like for the whole fucking time.
I could see that.
How dope Luke would be.
I could honestly kind of see that.
You know how dope Luke would be if Yoda was training him ever since he was an infant, and Leia had them both together and just trained them both. And then they just both came out as these fucking super powerful fucking Jedis and just wiped out the fucking Empire just by themselves. That shit would have been dope as shit. Remake it all. That would be the fucking dopest outcome ever. Like Anakin, like Yoda killing Anakin and then taking Padme and they go to the ship and then Yoda taking Luke and fucking Leia and training them as super Jedi. For like the whole time they're just trained by fucking Yoda. For fucking 18, 19, 20 years, just trained by Yoda every single day. Yoda tells them the truth about everything right off the bat. He doesn't ever lie to them, just teaches them the way he knows that they fucked up as being Jedi, because he says that we fucked up. Yeah, I think when he gave up, he was like, oh yeah, we fucked up. We lost. We were way overconfident. We thought we were way better than what we are. And this
like we've already been outplayed.
And actually trains them, like takes them to Dagobah, and they live there for like 18, 20 years, and just fucking, oh my God. They'll be so dope. Them motherfuckers will be whooping that. Could you imagine Luke and Leia just running through the fucking forest, just training, fucking flipping and hovering, and we wouldn't have no flying Jedi?
So
Is it weird?
That's the only thing. I could see something like that.
That would be dope.
Happening. And
then them just fucking getting together with the rebels. But then that would fuck up the whole storyline. Then we wouldn't have Han. I guess Han could come in somewhere. They could figure out a way to get Han and Chewie and C-3PO and R2 and everybody in there. Like, what if R2 and C-3PO went with them?
Bro, we've already fucked up the storyline when we decided that Anakin would be faced by Yoda and Obi-Wan would go fuck
Obi-Wan's dying. Obi-Wan's not even lasting 30 seconds. You see how fucking Palpatine jumped up? He killed like fucking 3 Jedis. It took Mace Windu to take him down. You know what I'm saying? And Mace Windu's a fucking swordsman. He's like a sword master. Like, dude, Palpatine, Obi-Wan would have went in there and got mollywopped like fucking instantly. Like, instantly electrocuted to death. Palpatine would have never even pulled out a fucking lightsaber. He just shocked the shit out of him until his fucking head exploded. And Yoda would have jumped around and cut fucking Anakin's arms and legs off and then fucking stuck his lightsaber in his face. Because Yoda's not going to give a shit about whether or not you're on fire or none of that shit. He's killing you. You know what I'm saying? He knows he has to kill. He came there to kill Palpatine. He'd have went there to kill fucking to Anakin. It wouldn't have been no question. We got to kill them. You know what I'm saying? He might have talked to fucking Anakin, but he already knew you got to kill him. He's fucking completely engulfed in the dark side now. Killed younglings. You watched it on video. You got to kill him. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fucking redemption from that. You got to die. And it would definitely wouldn't have been a long lightsaber battle with fucking dude.
It definitely
Anakin
wouldn't have been as
Obi-Wan.
emotionally intriguing either.
It would have had a hell of a lot more fucking dialogue to it. It would have been just straight fucking Yoda fucking.
Yoda would have been toying with him, I think. Yeah.
I don't see that happening. So, but I think in all reality, the real what if they would have happened, I think everything would have pretty much played out the same. And then I think the Jedis would have came together, and then they would have fought back against the Empire, and it would have been the rebellion would have, like you said earlier, it would have sparked a lot sooner. It wouldn't have took fucking years for the fucking rebellion to spark together. It wouldn't have took that. I think it would have been way fucking sooner, and I think it would have been way more Jedis fighting Palpatine than fucking Luke trying to fight Vader and Palpatine together. You know, by himself with no help. You know what I'm saying? I think it would have been there got to be at least a couple hundred Jedis that survived. They were all over the fucking galaxy. You know what I'm saying? There had to be a couple. You know what I'm saying? There's thousands of Jedis,
we keep seeing new Jedis that survived. In every fucking TV show they come out with is another Jedi that fucking survived Order 66. So
I really don't. I think there would. I mean, and we know that Quinlan Voss and fucking Asajj is together. I think that they would have joined and fight against the fucking Emperor, because I think Asajj is back to the whatever she is. She's not really a light sider or a dark sider. But, you know, I think she would have fucking definitely went into war against Palpatine, because she knows that Palpatine was fucking Dooku's master and Dooku treated her like shit. So I think, I think there could definitely be some good stories created out of it. I think a lot of these what if questions could be really fucking good stories. Fucking Disney, listen, motherfuckers. Change. If you want to start changing shit, just change it for the better. Motherfucker, don't make it worse.
Don't get me started.
Okay, we got some news and rumors. I know I do.
Sure, let's do it. Let me click the button.
This is Alton Castle for the only news you need, the HoloNet News.
Before we jump to that, Chris says, I think y'all need to keep an open mind about Anakin in the show. Sure, it can be fan casts, but it doesn't know a whole lot about the world between worlds, so everything is speculation at this point. And that's what I said. I think the world between worlds, I think that's where she's at, and I think she's going to talk to Anakin, and I think he's going to show her which portal to go through, kind of like as her guide in there, and show her where to go to save Sabine. He's going to tell her you need to be more. You need to show her
I can keep an open mind and not know what's happening while still saying him appearing at the end of this episode is fan service.
Yeah, it's definitely a fan service. I mean, and it might not. It might play to the story, so that's why. I mean, we know.
Right. No.
But the only thing that gets me is because
it could play with the story. But putting him at that point in time and just showing him just like that was fan service. Come on.
Let me see here. This is there is the actor who played Darth Vader did, I guess, the fight scenes and stuff in Obi-Wan Kenobi, because I don't think Hayden did him. Mm-hmm. He was actually fitted for a new Darth Vader suit.
Another one.
Yeah. So
that's big
speculation
news.
Could definitely be, and this is just a rumor. It's on.
We're seeing Darth Vader again.
That we might be seeing Darth Vader. That's the only reason I think like he might be appearing to Ahsoka, but it's really Vader. Like Vader fucking when Ezra snatched her through the thing, or Palpatine puts her back in there. I think that's why I think it's Vader, but it might not be. It might just be talking.
I want to see. I hope it's. Oh, dude, I still want to see Vader fuck up regular people, like in the Rebels series.
I think I want to see Rogue One. It's crazy. It scares me because I would love to see a Vader series, like to show the time period. But I just don't want to see. I don't want to see Disney do it.
It's too dark for Disney to touch.
So, but I would love to see that as a
complex.
Series. Like, show us what would happen, and it was right after he became Vader. To the point where
Because
you know what I'm saying, it leads up to him fighting Kenobi. Them 10 years, I would love to see a series about Vader during that. Like show us Vader fighting other Jedis and you know what I'm saying, and training the Inquisitors and stuff. I would love to see that. I think that would be something
dark and complex.
But I just don't think that Disney should do it. I think that should be like a fucking like get Tony to write that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like get Tony Gilroy to write it. Somebody that's not scared to put a little darkness in there. But yeah, so that's a speculation, and there's a rumor going around that he was fitted for a Darth Vader suit. Whoever the actor's name
Big
is.
news.
I thought I had it pulled up here, but I don't. So I don't know.
A news thing that I have is that the 5th episode, like Nelson said, it will be playing in theaters, in certain select theaters. That Disney's showing the 5th episode of Ahsoka in certain select theaters, which to me also kind of goes back to, all right, that probably is a little fan service, because why the fuck would anybody want to watch episode 5 unless Anakin just pops up in episode 4, to get people interested? But that also leads, maybe there's going to be a lot of shit happening in episode 5.
Well, Dave Filoni and Rosario Dawson said episode 5 is their favorite episodes.
All right,
they
so
said
this
that
one might be big time.
They said that in the interview that episode 5 was their favorite episode.
Interesting.
Wow,
I'm tired.
It was on a Collider interview. It was on a Collider interview. So that, but Dave is also a person that he likes those in-depth episodes. If you go back and you see like some of his favorite Rebel episodes, some of his favorite Clone Wars episodes, are the in-depth character building episodes where you really find out more about a character. That's the episodes that he usually likes the most. So that doesn't say. Now, Rosario Dawson, I don't know what her taste is. Let's see. What else did I have? I had Ahsoka is getting their Ahsoka's being added to the Star Wars rides at Disney theme parks. So they are adding Ahsoka into the mix. It doesn't really say what the ride is going to be, on what new ride it's directly going to be. Hera, Ahsoka, but Ahsoka was already there. You can see Ahsoka at fucking Galaxy's Edge, but now they're adding some more people in there. So that's kind of cool. Then another one. Well, I don't know. Did you have anything else?
No, that was all I had.
I guess a lost Star Wings X-Wing fighter is up for auction decades after going missing. So I guess it's the very first model, and I guess it went missing. Like they couldn't find none of them, and I guess one popped up. It's an original 20-inch model of the X-Wing starfighter used in the 1977 thing. It's been missing. The last one was seen. It will be sold at Heritage Auction on October 14th and 15th in Dallas. I don't know how it could be the 14th. Oh, I guess that's the date, time of the auction. And the bidding for the X-Wing is supposed to start at $400,000. $400,000 for a model X-Wing.
That's insane.
That's fucking crazy.
400, dude. Who's paying for that?
It was built by Industrial Light and Magic for Episode 4. It was built for that. It's Red Leader. Or Red One. But $400,000? Like,
that's
shit,
insane.
Man, for a freaking model?
I can't really imagine.
George Lucas and Harrison Ford, everybody autographed the motherfucker. $400,000, that's a lot.
It's a hell of a lot.
You can now order Black Series Jawa and Saculus B Black Series Holiday Edition. It's literally a freaking it's a fucking Jawa in a fucking Santa Claus looking outfit holding Secular's bee upside down by his tail.
Interesting. All right.
I'm like, all right, so for all you collectors, or I mean, I guess you can hold them different ways, but all you collectors that like to collect, and it also looks like he's wearing fucking, well, I guess they all wear that. It looks kind of like he's wearing Chewbacca's pouch thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I guess all Jawas wear, you know, things around their chest, you know. But it's coming out in a holiday edition. There was something else. There was something else. What else did I have? There's a rumor. Maybe not. There's a thing, if you go on to Reddit, go on to Star Wars leaks, there's a download. It's a master docs of all the remaining leaks for the rest of the Ahsoka season 1. Like, it has Ahsoka goes into World Between Worlds. We've seen that. We see Anakin. We've seen that. We get flashes from the past, including the Siege of Mandalore. Anakin's moment with Ahsoka. Brendan Wayne's X-Wing pilot character pulls her out of the water. The Battle of Tess, Ryloth is a whole new sequence. It's a whole new sequence. There's another series of Mandalore sequence that's in Ahsoka, which doesn't make a lot of sense why they would put that in there. But it's just like a whole bunch of different things that it's supposed to tell us what's going on. Right. And like I read through it and I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is not real. But if you want to go check it out, it's over there on Star Wars leaks on Reddit. And that's all I had.
Yeah, and then we got the comment about Rebel Moon. That's not coming out till December, and yeah, I think it was because Zack Snyder was going to supposedly direct a Star Wars movie and then wasn't able to, so he made his own.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually really pumped to see it.
Rob Snyder, man, that dude is freaking awesome when it comes to redoing shit. I mean, that the DC movie, even though he made that shit 4 hours long, that shit was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. It looks dark, it looks gritty, which we don't get in Star Wars anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. It could be definitely a darker Star Wars.
Yeah.
Although, I'm sorry, if it doesn't have the lightsabers, I don't know if I'll be into it as much.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know. I'm hyped for it. I can't wait to see the next.
I'm still hyped for it. I'm gonna watch it when it comes out.
Yeah. I don't know. I like what Snyder does.
Anything?
Well,
I think that's it for
the
news
whole
and
thing.
Oh.
The whole thing for Rebel Moon is he was supposed to get to direct a Star Wars movie,
right?
And then he wanted to do a DC movie like he did Justice League. You know, make a remake of it and put it together in, you know, of another Star Wars movie. And I guess from my understanding, Disney told him he couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So DC gave him the okay to make the Justice League 4-hour long movie. It was pretty good. I got to say, it was pretty good. So I would like to, and he was supposed to, then he asked if he could direct the movie or vice versa, however it was. And then they told him he didn't get it. So he decided to make Rebel Moon, which is, how did that, I'm trying to remember what that interview, I was reading the interview with him. He said it's based,
I don't remember.
It's not even based on Star Wars. It's a space opera. He wanted to create his own space opera.
Right. It's his own, like, Star Wars, right? So it's not going to be based off Star Wars. It's not going to be the same universe. It's its own thing.
but it's at the same time it's going to have a lot of Star Wars influence because it's a space opera. You know, that's when you say something's a space opera. What other space operas do we have other than Star Wars? Star Trek don't count. That shit is garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I have to say Star Wars. You know. Oh, it wasn't George Lucas that said no to him making. Well, I mean, that was years ago. I'm talking about this happened like in the last year, which George has no say. So Disney told him no, that he couldn't do it. When he went to George years ago and was supposed to direct the movie, George told him. George wasn't at the point, he wasn't making no more movies at that point. And then when he asked if he could do the remake of like the original Hope or, you know, whatever movie they decided, George told him no. But that was years ago. We're talking about this happened in like the last, you know, year or so, 2 years maybe. No, because it's been since we've been on air just a little over 2 years now. And yeah, it happened because we talked about it on the show that he was supposed to get a Star Wars movie. He was supposed to be one of the directors of the Star Wars movie. So it's been within the last 2 years that this other one came up. But I don't know, I'm excited to see it. And I mean, and honestly, I can't wait till Tuesday. Like, fuck, I'm just like super anticipating Tuesday to come. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what happens in Ahsoka next. I really, really do. I'm like, I want to see where they take this. It has me intrigued. And it's been a while since I've been excited to see, you know, like, well, I'm anticipating. Not excited, I'm not excited to see all Star Wars, but I'm like really anticipating. It's like, I can't wait to see what happens next. And season 3 of Mandalorian wasn't like that. It was like, I already knew what was going to happen. It was like, dude, I already know what's going to happen. And we got so many predictions right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got so many predictions right. Because it was just, I don't know, season 3 just didn't have anything that was like fucking like super exciting. We all knew what was going to happen and they just kind of led us right to it. Like we knew what was going to happen. I wish we could have seen the mythosaur more, but you know what I'm saying? That at least that gives me a little bit of intrigue for season 5, or I mean season 4, but like I just thought we was going to get to see more of the
Do we even have a
mythosaur.
date for season 4?
I don't think we do. I do not think we have an actual date. I think it's coming out 2024 though, end of 2024. But I don't think we have a date yet. Because the Skeleton Crew, we got Ahsoka season 1 now, we got Skeleton Crew next, then we have Mandalorian season 4, then Ahsoka season 2, and then Filoni's film. That's what's on this fucking website. And it's like, dude, Filoni's film is not coming out for a while. I mean, you could have all that. We were in Ahsoka right now. Skeleton Crew is supposed to come out at the end of the year, beginning of next year. Mandalorian comes out next year in the thing. They don't even have Bad Batch season 3, which is supposed to air summer of next year or May of next year.
I think, yeah, we're gonna have which this actually might be a good thing. I think we might have a delay of Star Wars content for a bit.
Well, they what's his face? Bob Iger said that they're cutting back on the TV shows.
Which,
they're cutting.
Again, I think is a good thing. I think
we need a
been
time.
kind of oversaturated. I think we need a little bit of time to like, all right, Disney needs to chill, think about where the direction they want to go, plan things a little bit better.
A lot of people are speculating that there's not going to be a season 2 or season 3 of Ahsoka. And the only reason I'm like, dude, you guys are crazy because all of this has to lead up. So he has to start incorporating characters. You know, Boba Fett got to show up. You know, Mando got to show up in Ahsoka. And we haven't seen any of the other series people in Ahsoka yet. Not to say that we can't see them in the next 3. But they got to show up at some point. All of these things are intermingling at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We got Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and the Skeleton Crew will. So all of these have to get to a point where they're all together for the movie to go into the movie. Right. So I don't see like Boba Fett. Like they can leave Boba Fett where he's at. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have to bring Boba Fett into none of the other series for the simple fact that everybody knows where he at. He went and took over Jabba's shit. You know what I'm saying? He's running the criminal syndicate. They know that. And it's not too hard to figure that out. They know where Mandalorian is at. They're going to be rebuilding Mandalore. So they know where he at. So technically he doesn't have to come in. Everybody knows Luke's at the academy. So they don't necessarily have to bring any of these characters in, until final season or whatever it is. And they definitely don't have to make any more seasons based on any of these people because they left them all where we know what's going on. Right. So, they can do Ahsoka for a few seasons.
I hope Dave Filoni does a trilogy for this movie. I just think it's a lot of stuff going to be thrown into one movie.
I don't think it'll be a trilogy. It's going to be one.
It's going to be a lot of stuff crammed into a movie, though. I'll tell you that.
Not necessarily. Not if they lead it all up to the point where the movie starts.
Yeah, but by necessity, not everyone watches TV shows. A lot more people watch the movies than TV shows.
That's why they have to lead it up to a point where, what I'm saying, it makes it. It's going to make sense for everybody. If you come into it, it's a brand new movie. You can watch it and you know what's going on because they put it at a point. But they're going to lead up to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're going to lead up to that point with all the TV shows. So
part of me's scared it's just going to be the Avengers, but Star Wars, because that's literally what they're kind of setting up.
That's what I considered it was probably going to be like the
Avengers but Star Wars. It's going to be
everybody
the same
coming together to fight against Thrawn, and then when Thrawn dies. This is my prediction. I don't know if this is true, but this is what I was thinking. Everything leads up to a certain point. They go to battle with Thrawn. Thrawn's fighting. Either Thrawn gets killed, or Palpatine sees that Thrawn's going to lose, so he sends in Snoke. Snoke kills Thrawn. And then, during the battle, we get, the characters is not in the end of, or in the Force Awakens, like Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Boba Fett, any of the characters that's not in any of the other trilogies, get killed in this last battle. They're all on the ship, they fucking sacrifice themselves like Hondo did, or Holdo did, or some stupid shit like that. I kind of have a feeling that's where it's going to go. And then it leads us right up into the thing, and I don't think it'll be a trilogy. First off, I don't think that Disney trusts Dave enough. I mean, they trust Dave a lot, but I don't think they trust him enough to create a movie. He's not somebody that's done a movie. So I don't think that they trust him enough to do a movie and it be successful enough for them to give him a trilogy. You know what I'm saying? Because Disney right now, if you think about everything that they're doing, they're letting people try things out to see where it goes. And then if it does good, then they move on from it. If it doesn't do good, they cut it off.
Tyler Bignell, been watching you for a long time and finally managed to catch one of your streams. Much love from the UK. Good to hear from you.
Thanks, Tyler.
It's awesome.
But it's I think that's where it's leading up to.
Yeah.
I just don't see Disney. They're not going to give. They're giving because if not, why didn't they have one director direct 3 movies right now? Do a trilogy right now for the next 3 movies. They got 3 different directors doing 3 totally different types of movie. They're basically at this point, they're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Right.
Because we got Dawn of the Jedi. Do people want to go back in time? Do they want to really see those people? And I implore everybody, when Dawn of the Jedi comes out, everybody needs to go to the movies to watch that shit. Because that's going to show them that we care about the Old Republic, that we want to hear about the Old Republic, and that might push Disney in order to either do a Darth Bane or a...
I don't want Disney to do a Darth Bane anymore, I think.
A Revan or a Darth Bane, or even a Deceived... Fatal Alliance. I know they won't do Red Harvest. Red Harvest is a very, very dark book. But they, to go back to see, or even their own stories during the time of the Old Republic, that if everybody sees Dawn of the Jedi, even if people fucking say it's the worst movie ever, we just need everybody to go so they'll stay within that time period, or they'll stay back in time. They'll start doing the Old Republic stuff. If we don't show up, and there's a lot of criticism about it, even if you don't like it. Even if I don't like it, I'm going to fucking say I loved it, just for the simple fact because I want them to fucking create Old Republic shit. I really do. I want them to go back in time with the Old Republic. And I've been saying this. Everybody knows how I feel about this. I do not know what the fuck they're thinking about doing any of this shit. We were done with Return of the Jedi. After that, technically we were done. You know what I'm saying? We were done because everything else has not lived up to Return of the Jedi. So go back to the High Republic. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to start going back in time and doing all this new shit, just go back to the High Republic. You got fucking great writers writing the book. Some of these books are amazing. Go back in time and do the High Republic. That's what I think Disney should do. Because their track record so far hasn't been that good on anything after Return of the Jedi. Andor was great. Mandalorian is after it. Mandalorian was good for the first 2 seasons. But Andor's before it. You know what I'm saying? Everything that they've been putting out is just not lived up to the expectations that it's not even 80% of the fandom likes it. You know what I'm saying? It's like 50-50. And it's like, okay, go to a time period that nobody knows shit about. Nobody knows anything about the High Republic. Until they started doing the High Republic, there wasn't shit about the High Republic. So, you know what I'm saying? Go back to do the High Republic. You guys. All right, Chris, we'll catch you on Wednesday. But yeah, I just really believe, because I've listened to most of the High Republic. I think there's 2 that I haven't listened to yet. And the High Republic books are not bad books. They're good books. They got good stories. And they bring in a lot of new people, because you got to remember, there ain't no Sith during the High Republic. So they're bringing in other enemies to fight. Right. You know what I'm saying? That are brand new characters, or brand new people that we've never seen before. These Jedi, and they have all aspects. They got, you know what I'm saying? They got bounty hunters, they got pirates, they got, you know, all this new stuff. And it's like you can add all, and it's completely new. And you have the stories. You got the fucking books. Just use the books. I don't understand Disney and not using books. You know what I'm saying? You got all these fucking, there's a million Star Wars books.
For a company that's so bad at making their own stories right now, you'd think they would try to use other people's stories a lot more.
I mean, instead of doing the book of Boba Fett, they could have done the books of Boba Fett and did the Mandalorian books where he becomes the Mandalore and all that shit. Them fucking books are great. Use that story, we'd have been loving that shit. Like I have never heard anybody say, Here to the Empire is a bad book. Like, use the book. Don't write something new. Just go get the fucking book. Open the book up. Write a script out of the book. Put all the great parts in there, put all the good stuff in there, and here you go. You got 10 seasons right here. Some of the greatest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? Go get the Bane trilogy, the Revan trilogy. Go get one of the High Republic books and just fucking make a script out of it. Start popping out fucking TV series and movies, and you would be fucking rich as shit. That shit is good. Like, it's good fucking Star Wars. Y'all just... Have you ever seen Star Wars? No? Come write this fucking script for us. Like, no, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? No. Yep. Then this dude goes and watches some shit, creates his own fucking shit, and that shit is garbage. It's terrible. Like, dude, fuck that, man. Don't do that shit. I don't know. I mean, by no means, I just, you know, I believe I believe that Disney could do way better. They're trying too hard. Like, you're trying way too hard to live up to this expectation that you cannot live up to. You can't do what George did. George has a very creative mind. He did a lot of drugs in the 70s, you know, when he was in college and shit. You know what I'm saying? And back then, you know what I'm saying, every movie was made with fucking cocaine. You know what I'm saying? You made good movies in the 70s because it was all made with cocaine. You know, everybody was high as shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, people was tripping acid and doing cocaine and doing shrooms and shit, and fucking just the greatest shit ever was coming out.
The greatest shit ever.
You think about it. Look at all the early 80s and late 70s fucking movies and shit. Like, you know, you got Goonies. I mean, it was just good stories was made back then. Everybody was high. People had imagination.
It was before AI is what it was.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, dude, it was just the reason that, like, Star Wars and Jaws and all these movies are timeless. You can go back and watch them. They're great stories. The reason that they're all like that, they're timeless. They'll never. People will still be watching them after we're long and gone. People are still going to be watching the movies because everybody was high on cocaine and tripping acid and shit, taking shrooms. People's mad. They just had they did all the great shit.
Now you heard it here on Lightsaber Radio. Cocaine's the answer we're looking for.
it's just, that's just the reality of it. That's just how Los Angeles was back then. That's how the world was back then. Everybody took cocaine, man. That's just what you did. Everybody did drugs. And you got to understand that now all we do is drink water that's caked in fluoride, got more fluoride in it than water. All that shit does is harden your pituitary gland, which your pituitary gland is what gives you imagination. See, you've been out there drinking that fucked up Arizona water for all these years. You got to boil the water from Colorado so you can drink it. By that time, you know how much fluoride and shit is in that shit is to fuck the whole place. You ain't even got an imagination no more. Yeah, so it's not your fault. It's okay, Garrison. We understand.
Okay. The reason I hate Ahsoka is because I'm drinking so much fluoride. All right.
No, that's just that it's a clinical fact. It's a proven fact that fluoride hardens the pituitary gland, and they put fluoride in our water, and they say it's to help our teeth. I drink a lot of water. Didn't help my teeth none. You know what I'm saying? It has to do with 90% of your teeth and all that shit is hereditary. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just the way things were back in them days. That's why everybody was so freaking awesome at writing stuff. Come on, man. American Graffiti is still watched like 100,000 times every month. That was George's first movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of the greatest fucking teen classic hot rod movies that you can watch. People watch that shit. They watch these stuff because they were good. Nowadays, man, it's just, I think people are just trying too hard. I really think that Disney, they just try too hard. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to please people. Quit trying to please people. Just create some good shit. You think the writers of the High Republic series gives a shit about what people think? They just write good books. They write what they like. And then what happens? They're good. And I think Disney is, and it's just so much of the ridicule that Disney has got over the last, they went through, Walt Disney was a racist. They had to go through that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Look at the time. Most people were racist during that time. Right. That's a fucking time period. You know what I'm saying? The world has grown since then. Then they went into their money issues. Then they went into getting sued. Then they went in and then they started getting back up and they started buying all these places and they started doing good again. But they don't want to get ridiculed. That's why they do this woke shit. They scared of ridicule, so they're trying to make everybody happy, and you just can't do that. You just gotta write good shit, man, and just, a lot of the things that made George good is because he got people that we didn't even know. We got Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill wasn't a big actor. He was a nobody. Harrison Ford was building sets. You know what I'm saying? None of the actors on there other than Obi-Wan Kenobi was anybody even fucking knew them people at that time. Like, they hadn't been in shit, really. Some commercials, some dumb shit. They haven't been in none. I mean, Harrison Ford was a little bit because of American Graffiti, but at that point, it wasn't even big enough to get him to role in fucking Star Wars. He was just doing line readings. And George was like, all right, man, you're just better than everybody else. It just makes sense for you to play the character. I mean, he fell into that shit.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't all that trying. It would just make some good shit. Get some new actors. Get new shit, man. Let new people come out. And I know they tried that shit with fucking the sequel trilogy, but just because the sequel trilogy failed does not mean everything else failed. If you got good writers, you're just writing good shit. Like, quit trying to be woke and do all this fan service.
I would just edit, maybe not quit trying to force it.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're trying to force it, and that's what they're trying.
That's what
so
the fan service stuff is all about. That's what creating the Kenobi series because people wanted to see a series about Kenobi or Obi-Wan, and then you didn't write it good. I mean, it was almost like, and I've been saying this, it's almost like they purposely destroyed it so they could force their characters on you. Well, if you're gonna force a character on me, make it a good character. Right. That's all I ask. Make it a good character. You know what I'm saying? Make it somebody that's compelling to watch. I don't care if they can act or not. Shit, just make it compelling. A good story. You can have bad CGI. You can have bad everything else. A good story and good music will make up for all that shit. 100%. You gotta have a good story. And that's what I do like about Ahsoka. The story is good. You know, it does have a good story. The only thing, and I think why a lot of people are putting it down is because we know the outcome of the story. We know where it's leading to. Now, will it get to it this season or next season or 3 seasons away? We know what it's leading to. And I think that that's where a lot of times Disney messes up. Don't tell us Thrawn's coming back. You know, if you're going to fan service, do it like you did it when Luke came back.
Nobody knew he was coming back. Exactly.
Nobody knew he was coming back. So it was like exciting. It's like you're telling us, Thrawn's going to be here. We're going to get Ezra. We know Anakin's going to be in it. Like, it's not an exciting thing. And we know they're going to find Ezra and Thrawn. Like, we knew that at the beginning. Don't tell us none of that shit. Let us be more excited, because when you know it dulls down the story, because you know where it's leading. I want to be surprised by the story. I want to
that's the point. Why tell the story if we already know it? You know,
it's just. I think that's what's doing it, and I'm trying not to let it dull it down with me, because I like Ahsoka. You know what I'm saying? And so far, I've liked all of the episodes. So I try not to think about it. I try not to think about where it's leading to. I'm trying to think outside the box. That's why I've been so much focused on this world between worlds, because it takes my mind away from that. Like, where could this world between worlds lead us to, or how, or what's its purpose? Like, why? I know Dave is a big fan of the world between worlds. It's one of his creations, but does it apply to the story? Like, how does it apply to the story? And I'm trying to be creative in thinking about different ways that it applies to the story, because I think that's the best part. It brings excitement. Like, I want to be excited. I want to be like, fucking yeah. You know, if Mando pops up in it, I don't want to see it. You know, don't put it on TV, the commercial with Mando on there. I don't want to see that. You know how much more scary Baylan would have been if we never would have seen Baylan in any of the previews or calendar.
Maybe
Baylan would have been the shit, man. Like,
I think he's not supposed to be like super scary though.
I think he would have been more scary if they had never showed it to him. Like, just show us the chick. She's not really scary any damn way. You know he's scared of her. But Baylan, like, kept him in the thing. Like, let us think that she's the fucking Sith Lord, and then we find out, oh, he got some master. That would have put us on a whole different wavelength, and it would have been just way more exciting. Like, I think, which sucks, because I'm like one of the people that's out here looking for the fucking rumors and leaks and shit, fucking to find out everything before it happens. And I'm the one that's over here bitching about not being excited, but I'm the one over here looking for this shit. But it's my job to look for that. I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to keep a more open mind. I think I've been way too critical, and I haven't been enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm criticizing it. I'm not just sitting back and enjoying watching some Star Wars, which some of the other stuff didn't even feel like Star Wars, so I wasn't really missing out on nothing. You know what I'm saying? But like this, I've really been just sitting back and trying to enjoy it as a fan, and then I'll go back and criticize and look at the problems. But first, I try to sit back and just enjoy watching. And it's keeping my excitement up. I'm excited for Tuesday to come. Okay. We just been on rant heavy today, huh? We get on a rant. We go for like 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah, dude.
It's all right. Let's jump to the quiz. Y'all want to do the quiz?
You got the quiz?
Who wants to do the quiz?
Let's do it.
Quiz time?
All right.
Stop right there, you rebel scum. Prepare yourself for the Star Wars Impossible quiz. Blast them.
Real quick, Nelson put, what if Yoda was on cocaine against Sidious? His damn cane. That was one of the impossible questions. There's a sap in his cane to get you high. Yoda's taking cane sap, yeah.
Taking cane juice.
Yeah, he's taking cane juice. It's like the fucking, I don't know what it does, if it gets you hyper, if it makes you.
Cocaine. Ah, see?
Yeah, but there's like a fucking sap in his stick that gets him high. I think it's a painkiller, though.
That would make sense.
Angelina says, are you guys Star Wars fans? Yeah, we love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. But also, I'm also a critic. So if something's bad, it's bad. It doesn't. I'm not one of those people that like Star Wars just because of Star Wars. It still has to be good Star Wars. If it's bad Star Wars, then it's not really Star Wars to me. You can't have a bad story or bad, and I would have to say I'm a true critic, because I look for like mess ups within the acting. I look for, you know, if a blaster the sound effects doesn't fit with the scene. That's the things I look for when I'm looking at, does the dialogue correct? Is it off tone? What's the pacing of the video? You know, so I would have to say I go a little bit more in depth than most people would. but the biggest thing has to be the story. The story has to be good. If the story's not good, then it just, you can say something's Star Wars, but that doesn't make it Star Wars. If you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Because I can write some shit and call it Star Wars, and it doesn't make it Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? So, is it good? Star Wars is good. You know, the first 6 movies, great. Mandalorian first 2 seasons, great. Clone Wars, great. Rebels, great. You know, there's a lot of great content that is Star Wars. Disney's track record on making great Star Wars is not good. We got Andor, we got, you know what I'm saying, we got Andor, we got Rogue One.
Andor was good. Rogue One was good.
Solo
was
to
alright.
me was good. You know what I'm saying?
Mando,
I like Mando season 1 and 2 was good.
but then
Bad Batch
besides
was
that-
good.
Oh, true.
First season of Bad Batch was better than second season, but second season wasn't bad by no means.
I don't think second season was good. First season was. Second season wasn't. But
Book
then
of
the
Boba
rest
Fett
of a lot of it
was not good. Kenobi, they didn't do a good job on Kenobi.
So I would not say I'm a fan of Kenobi or most of
Book of-
Disney Star Wars.
The sequel trilogy was just, I don't even know what the point of that was. So I'm like 50-50 when it comes to Disney Star Wars, because they have done some good stuff. I can't sit back and say all their stuff is bad, but the 3 movies that they've done so far out of the 5, 3 of them were bad, and then so far 2 of the series was just bad. It was just like, what? This doesn't even make sense at all. So I love, and I watch anything Star Wars. Shit, I watch more fan films on YouTube about Star Wars than probably anybody on this planet. I watch YouTube fan films all the time because they're just, but it doesn't make them Star Wars. And that's how some of these series have been. It's been more like a fan-made film than a Star Wars film or a Star
All right, what do you
Wars
say we
series.
get to the quiz?
All right. The mysterious creatures. And for anybody that's new on the show, we're about to go through, I have a series of impossible questions. We're going to read through these questions.
See if
Y'all
you
are
can
going to
answer
try
it.
to guess in the guess the answers. If you know the answer, put it in the comments. We're going to give you about a minute because we know there's a lag. And then Garrison gets to start trying to answer the questions.
Which I
Okay.
don't know much more either. So
The mysterious creatures known as the Purgles traverse the galaxy through hyperspace. But what is their intention?
migration. Oh fuck. That's not the answer then? Good. Because
No, it's not the answer.
just blurted that out. They're looking for big titty Twilix.
Yeah, that might be a possibility.
If Kyle was a Purgle, that's what he's doing.
I don't know if I was a Purgle. Ain't Purgle just space whales? Like, what do whales do? They just swim around. They don't do shit, swim around and eat. Not like they do anything. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Then nobody put no answer in the thing at all.
Yeah, dude, because
I
it's
don't
an
know.
impossible question.
It is an impossible question because it's unknown. They don't know why they do it.
They're going to mate. Oh, what the fuck, dude?
The answer is unknown. Okay. Saber components. Question number 2. Saber components, while almost infinite options exist for their style. The materials of the saber. What are the 7 common elements that comprise the basic construction of a saber?
Jeez.
The 7 components that you have to have to construct a lightsaber. Now, the style
Helium?
could be there, the materials can be different, but every lightsaber has to have these 7 components, or at least
Helium?
most of them. There's 7
Plutonium?
components that's labeled out. Could be more, you know, it could be less, depending on the type of lightsaber it is, but there's practically about 7 things that you have to have to build a lightsaber. 6. Okay.
I mean, I know one of
Nelson
them.
says an emitter. Yeah, that's one of them. There's 7. 6 main, 7 that most lightsabers have, because depending on the lightsaber, whether or not it has that other one.
Yeah. Emitters
Come
is one of them.
on, come on,
Let's
chat.
see what else the
You
chat
got
says.
emitter. Okay, what do you think, Garrison? Emitter is one of them.
Kyber crystal, I'm gonna guess.
Gotta have a kyber crystal. What else?
A switch.
Yep, that's a switch. Quit looking it up. I can see the damn thing flashing in your face.
I'm actually playing Minesweeper, but that's cool.
Nope, it's not a power cell. Nope.
No, I just emitter, kyber crystal, switch, like a focusing thing.
Focusing lens.
Oh, there you go. A handle.
Yeah, handle grip.
Wait, a grip is one? I guess that counts. Yeah.
Handle. It says
How many
hand
is that?
grip. So a handle grip.
3.
You got 5 of them so far.
I got 5, so I'm missing 2.
Kyber crystal, yep. Nielsen.
A clip to hook it on your belt.
You don't have to have one of those. You don't need one of those to build your lightsaber. Well, I guess so. I guess that, not really, because it doesn't necessarily have to have the clip on there.
I don't know. That was a guess.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the pommel cap is at the bottom. You got the hand grip, switch, and this is all in order from bottom to top. Kyber crystal, main hilt, focusing lens, and the emitter.
Main hilt.
And pommel cap, if you got a double set of the lightsaber, you don't have a pommel cap, so.
You just got another emitter and another
You
switch.
just have another
and
emitter.
another.
Okay, number 3. What did the Gungans call the animals that carried the energy shield generators into battle?
Oh, that's a good one.
So like when they
llama.
come out in the energy field, bat thing goes,
Yeah.
dome goes over them. What did they call them animals?
Condom carriers.
Condom carriers.
Because look, it's like a battle condom. Get it? That was the stupidest joke.
Nelson, you don't have to have the ring on it though. You don't have to, because you could have a clip. You could have the ring on the bottom of it. You could have a holster that you put it in. It's not mandatory. Them was the 6 mandatory things, and a pommel cap is if you have a regular lightsaber.
Yeah, I guess the clip's more of an accessory.
Yeah. So
it's not like the lightsaber won't work without it.
yeah, no, them is the things that you gotta have to get the lightsaber to work. Hand grip, switch, key, kyber crystal, main hilt, focus lens, and emitter. Okay, let me re-say. What did the Gungans call the animal that carried the energy shield generator into battle?
Dude, I had no clue.
Anybody in the thing, in the chat room, chat thingy? Beep, 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 beep. I don't remember.
Nobody in the chat knows. Because
Okay.
it's a hard question.
It's called the War Beast.
The War Beast.
The War Beast.
That's the name of it, or that's what the Gungans called it?
That's what the Gungans call it, a War Beast.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, number 4. What are the 2 types of gravity-defying manipulation technologies used in Star Wars?
Gravity-defying
manipulation technologies.
The Force, because Rey flies.
The Force is not one of them. We're talking about technologies. The Force is not a technology.
A jet engine count? Because that technically defies gravity.
No, it does not count. We're talking about like regular shit. We're talking about like hovering shit.
Oh, okay.
You know, like a speeder hovers above the ground.
Oh,
Like
and how does it hover? That kind of stuff.
like
Okay.
a
So
crazy-
like jetpack? No.
That's a jet. That's force pushing you away from the ground.
Okay.
That's not
Okay. I get it. I get it. So like Yoda's like floating chair or the things in the Senate, stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff that floats.
There's a bunch of little slave Jedis that just hold it.
No, but I didn't ask what it was named. I asked what did the Gungans call it.
Yeah, Nelson, he got you there.
I didn't ask for the name of it. I know what the name of it is. I'll ask what the Gungans called them. They called them war beasts.
Jaja, you said a war beast. Jaja, you said a boomba.
All right. What do you think is called? What do you think the two of them are?
Jesus, dude, I have no idea.
All right. we got-
Magnetic spherism and gravity switchers.
There are two types are repulsors
Oh, that one makes sense. Okay.
and tractor beams.
Oh, fucking tractor beam. I'm so stupid. I should have at least gotten the fucking tractor beam. They only mention it every episode.
All right. How much firepower did the First Order Dreadnought have? Like if you were thinking about like how much power that motherfucker had to shoot some shit like laser shot, like laser
20
shots.
million times TNT.
We're talking about Star Wars things.
How do I quantify that? Like what's
is
the
it
unit
like
of measurement?
like is it as powerful as a laser off of a fucking X-wing or powerful as like a fucking Death Star beam? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I hope it's not a Death Star beam.
I think they'd have just blew up the planet instead of tried to shoot the ships out of the air with the Dreadnought. All right, you want the answer?
I don't know. But it's probably like you know how like when they just did the single ignition reactor on Scarif, it's probably
Uh-huh.
like half of that, I'd say.
Okay.
Like
Good
full
answer.
power would be like that.
It's more than 12 Star Destroyers.
Oh, well that's a lot.
What was the name of the
Goddamn.
First Order Dreadnought?
Axial super laser, super axial laser, some shit like that.
We're
What was it?
not talking about the laser. We're talking about the ship. What was the name of the ship? It
Oh,
was the Dreadnought, the First Order Dreadnought. What was the name of that ship? They actually say it
Eclipse
in the
class.
movie. They actually say it in the movie. He says, "Get a
Like
hold
the
of Captain in the blank."
Oh, Eclipse
Dreadnought.
class Star Destroyer. I don't know. That's actually a great question. I don't know. That's a great question.
Okay, y'all ready? Everybody ready?
Yeah.
The Fulminatrix. Fulminatrix is Fulminatrix.
Fulminatrix. Like one word or two words?
It's one word. Fulminatrix.
The
What's the name of the
Fulminatrix.
Dreadnought?
That's a weird name.
Okay, this one might be a little bit
Dominatrix.
easier. This might be a little bit easier, so you gotta give the chat time to kick in, Garrison. And we're gonna give him a little bit
All right.
longer time because
All right, I'll be
Nielsen
quiet.
is still speaking on the previous question, so we gotta let it drop back a little bit. When Luke said, "Ever since the XP-38 came out, they are just not in demand," what is he referring to?
Ooh. That's a great question. I think he's talking about vibrators.
No, I don't think it's
No?
vibrator. Maybe it's his blaster.
Yeah, ever since
Like
Emperor had got the X38K, shit, My uncle's really not been in demand. That's why he's such an asshole to me.
Ever since Reva stabbed my aunt with a lightsaber,
She just hasn't been getting the stabbing she really wants. God damn.
Uncle Owen works too much now.
Poor Uncle Owen.
All right. Chat, anybody know? And Nelson, you just told on yourself because you just said they said it's the fanboys on Google. I meant to say that. You're Googling stuff. Quit Googling stuff. You're supposed to know this information. I don't know none of this shit. I have no idea. Okay.
You Googled it to come up with the question.
All right. What is his what is he talking about, Garrison?
His land speeder?
Yeah, but what type of land speeder is it?
Oh, jeez, bro. I don't
You gotta
know.
tell me the name of the land speeder because it.
The T91X or something?
Nah. Luke said ever since the XP38 came out, they just aren't in demand talking about his XP34 speeder. Because the 38 came out, so why does anybody want a 34 when you can get the 38?
Oh.
Okay. As Jedi younglings mature, they are placed into training groups called clans. What was the name of the clan that Yoda taught?
The Dead Clan? Because they're definitely not alive anymore.
The Dead Clan, except for Reva that can keep taking lightsaber blasts and just live.
Truly wonderful, the mind of a child is. Those one. Master?
You know, Vader,
because they erased
Vader
it from the
stabbed her in the
archive
stomach
memory.
twice and she still ain't dead. You know what I'm saying?
Because they erased it from the archive memory.
Come on, what clan is it? A Star Wars team leader. Both said the same thing. I gotta, you know, I'm referring to the object. We all knew it was the speeder. When as soon as I said the question, we all knew it was a speeder. But what's the type of speeder? Nelson, he said, I Googled it if I don't know the answer. I just want to answer it. I'm pretty sure that's the point of Google. You know? Damn, I don't know the answer. Let me Google this. Which Google is full of shit sometimes. I asked Google a question one time. That motherfucker gave me, I was like, what the fuck? I'm not talking about brawls. What the fuck you get a brawl from my question from? Like, dude, I'm pretty sure you're spying on me anyway. You should know I'm a guy. Why would I do? Well, I guess, you know, nowadays men wear bras too.
The Youngling Clan.
No. It's gonna blow y'all's mind.
The Naughty Clan.
Oh, it's crazy. Think back to your youth.
The Green Clan.
Think
the
back
Cub Scout Clan.
You're pretty close.
Really?
It's called the Bear Clan.
The Wolf Clan. The Bear Clan. What the fuck?
That's what it was called. Okay. Here goes. These ones is kind of more funny, but they're easier answers. So, you know what I'm saying? Like the Bear Clan wasn't, I mean, it's Pond Scum Clan.
The Nerf Herder Clan. That's it.
Okay. In the order of a Jedi, like, okay. There's 6 ranking in the Jedi Code prescribed as the path of advancement in the Jedi Order. What are those 6 rankings?
You have Padawan, right? That's the lowest. Then you have Knight. Well, this isn't in order, but Padawan, Knight, Master, Grandmaster. Is that one? Oh, I should probably keep my mouth shut. I should let the chat answer. I'm sorry.
So everybody try to guess the last 2 that
I'm sorry. I'm an asshole.
Garrison didn't get right. Or did get right. And technically there's 7, but the 7th one's kind of like not really one. And I don't know why they included it.
I think I get it.
Kidnapping children is not fucking, you know what I'm saying? An advancement. Baby is not an advancement in the Jedi Order. So I did not include that one. I said, this is stupid. It can't be fucking baby. You know what I mean? They don't have no fucking
Yeah,
choice.
you got the Jedi daddies.
Youngling.
You got the Jedi.
Nielsen got Youngling. Nielsen got
Jedi
Youngling.
daddy. You got
They go
bishops, and you got the priests.
Then you got the red guys, and then you got the fucking Pope.
Yeah. And then you got the sergeants.
Grandmaster, we already got Grandmaster. There's one more answer left. Come on. I know somebody knows it. Star Wars team leader, what you got?
Okay. Youngling, Padawan, Knight, Master, Council, and then Grandmaster?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Just because you're on the council, you're still just a master. Master wings.
So it's not like council member or something?
No.
I don't know.
Grandmaster is as high as you can go. You know what I'm saying? You got to know that.
Right.
Grandmaster is the highest you can go.
Oh, is it like a entry level accountant? Fucking newbie, greenie, fucking new guy. Fuck, it's gonna be something like that. Ah, fuck you, Kyle. God damn it. I was on the right track. I was getting there.
It's initiate, youngling, Padawan, knight, master, grandmaster, and then before initiate is baby or infant. And fuck that, that's stupid. That's
Can
not.
you really be an initiate? Can you really be an initiate if you're like 2?
Yeah, no. You're not an initiate. You just have force powers. You don't even know if you want to do this shit. Okay, last question. And this is, I said, I've been doing too much of the TV, too much of the, you know what I'm saying,
Baby.
TV series. So this one's off of a game. Okay.
Oh, great. That's so
What
much
is the
easier.
name of the yacht Cal Kestis and Sierra Judah travel aboard that is captained by Latero Grease Doratus?
I remember. I think I remember. I got it.
All right, come on, chat.
I'm gonna
I
wait.
got to get it before Garrison can say it. What is the name of the yacht that Cal Kestis and Sierra Jundu travel aboard that is captained by Latero Grease Doratus? However you say that shit.
Yeah.
What is the name
I don't know.
of
I just
the
call him
yacht?
Grease.
Yeah, Grease. I don't know anything about games, so I have to use their whole names. I don't fucking.
I think I remember it. I'm fairly sure.
Who remembers the name of the yacht? What the hell are they in a yacht for? Jedi's fly around in yacht? It's in the fucking
I think they just call it a
video
yacht.
game. Fuck. Get a yacht if you're a fucking Jedi and the fucking Empire's trying to kill you.
Ah, there you go. Nielsen got it. The
Mantis. But it's actually, that's not the whole name of it. What is the whole name of it?
Yeah, there is one thing before it.
Nielsen got Mantis. We need the first part. Who got the first part? All right, Garrison, go for it.
The penis. I'm just kidding. The Stinger Mantis.
Yep, that's it. Stinger Mantis. I'm trying to find more questions that I think y'all will have trouble with the games, because I haven't really done no game fucking questions. Like, all my fucking questions have been movies, TV series, video games.
The game ones are tricky. The game ones are tricky because I feel like with movies, like you rewatch them, TV shows you rewatch them. Games, I don't really replay games a whole lot, so like it's a little bit harder to remember.
I don't think I could replay a game that I beat. I think that would be fucking like I don't even like when I play chess with people. If I beat them, I don't even want to play them again.
It's like I'm done with
like
chess.
Rematch, I'm like, for what? I'm gonna win again. I'm better than you.
What? I already won.
I just don't like. Which I haven't played chess in forever. I used to play chess all the time.
I used to like chess until I played people who were actually good at it, and then I didn't like it.
I was pretty good at it for a while there, and I don't know.
I used to like chess until I played like a guy who was like trying to become a grandmaster, whatever the fuck you are at chess. And bro, he whooped me. And I was like, I couldn't even see what he was talking about. And I was like, how did you win? He goes, oh, because I did this, 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 and this. And I'm like, that didn't make sense to me, but good job.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to play AI chess. I don't know. I can't play chess no more.
You know what you do
I actually
is you
did
go
play
online.
chess not long ago, and like my fucking 15-year-old son whooped my ass, and like he only had played chess like 4 times. I said, I'm done. Like, I think he was like 13, and he just like massacred me. And I said, what the fuck? And he only played like 3 times, and I was like, what the fuck? Oh man, I can't play this no more. My
What you
focus
do
ain't.
is you play chess online against someone, and then in another window, you open up like a super hard AI chess. And you do the exact moves that the guy does against you, so you can figure out how to respond.
That's what games is there for. It's a distraction. That's why. Well, I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is the reason I don't play games is for 2 reasons. One, because I have an addictive personality, and I will be addicted to that game, and I won't do the podcast, and I won't be doing shit. I'll be playing the damn game. I'll call into work and shit, and just fuck my whole life up playing the video game. And second off, that shit is way too expensive. Like, I could much find other things to spend my money on than $80 for a damn game and $500 for a console. Like, dude, I actually bought a PS5 and the fucking Jedi Survivor combo, and I canceled the order after I bought it. Like 3 days after I purchased it, I got on the waiting list for it. I fucking canceled it. I was like, nah, what am I doing? This shit is like $800. Why the fuck am I buying this shit? You know what I could get for $800? Like, I can buy a new gun, something that's gonna save me in real life.
Yeah, that's true. I'm always down to buy a new gun.
Hey, I'm looking at that Smith & Wesson M&P FC, the M&P FCP 9mm carbine right now. I've been looking at it for like 2 weeks now, and I haven't
really?
pulled the trigger on it yet. Dope gun, folding carbine, folds in half, easy storage. Yeah, dope gun.
That's pretty nice.
And I'm getting rid of all my other stuff, and I'm singling out one. I went through all my guns. I looked at all my guns, and I said, all right, I'm singling out down to one cartridge. So
you're singling only 9mm. So you're only gonna have 9mm now.
Everything I'm gonna have is 9mm. So I'm getting rid of my AR that I have right now. I'm gonna get AR-9. I want to get an
That's
SPC-9.
crazy.
You gotta think about it. When you gotta buy all these different bullets, and fuck, man, I went and shot my AK not too long ago, man, on my AR, and the damn bullets are expensive as shit. I'm like, damn, 9 bullets is way cheaper than this. It's like double the amount.
That's
like,
true.
Fuck.
That's
so
true.
I'm like,
5.56 is super expensive.
So
compared to like 9.
I'm going to everything in the same caliber, so all my guns will take the same caliber, and I'm trying to stay all Smith & Wesson, so that way my clips are interchangeable. That way I don't have to worry about fucking, you know what I'm saying, a lot of different clips. I don't have to worry about a lot of different rounds, buying different bullets. I have all the same things.
I get you.
Well, my older brother, that's what he's doing. And it just made sense to me. He was like, why would you want to carry around a bunch of different rounds? What if you run out of them rounds? If you have all the same rounds, it's way harder to run out of rounds. You got all the same rounds. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's smart.
But you also don't have a lot of the range that you would get otherwise. Like
that's why you go with, you know, AR-9 or
like a carbine,
or a carbine, because then you're getting a higher penetration value. And you got to understand, if something's really going down, and we really need to use the gun, because the only reason I got my guns is for home protection, and if the world ever goes to shit, then
which 9 is fine, right?
You know what I'm saying? But if the world ever really goes to shit, then, you know what I'm saying, I have something to protect. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can all band together and fight against communists or whatever it is happening.
Communists.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever's going on there, I'm going to need to do that. Hopefully it never comes to that. I would hate to ever have to, you know, hurt somebody like that. Because you got to think about it. When you really break it down, you shoot somebody, even if it's for home protection, even if it's in war, you're hurting somebody because somebody lost their loved one. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about the life that you took. It's about, you know what I'm saying, the people that affected by what. your
that
actions.
person has
So
a family.
I
That
hope
family
that I
wants them to
never
come
have to
home.
do that. But hey, I got
Right.
it. If it comes down to it, I will do it. I'm gonna protect
Right.
mine first. But hopefully, it never ever comes to nothing like that. We don't ever have to experience that in our lifetimes and my grandchildren's
Right.
lifetimes. And after that, I'll be dead. I won't know them people, so it really doesn't matter. But I really hope it don't. I hope the world can get their shit together and fucking all come together on one. Just go on Star Wars. Everybody just be Star Wars.
Whoa,
fans.
no, that people will be just as divided. I
You know what I'm
swear,
saying?
people
But we
would
can-
kill
we-
me
we-
over my opinions.
Well, hopefully it don't ever come to nothing like that. And okay,
That's it
so
for today.
I think we are about. We haven't discussed what day we're going to do the watch party for Return of the Jedi yet, because that's next on the chopping block. Can't wait.
Let's go.
Can't wait for Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is one of my top 5 favorite movies of all times.
So good.
So, but
Except
we
for
haven't
the
discussed
Ewoks.
it yet.
Otherwise, perfect.
It'll have to be in the next couple weeks, just for the simple fact of because it's already the 10th,
Yeah.
and we got basically we got 2 more Sundays. So it's either going to be the 17th or the 24th. One of those 2 days. But we'll discuss it when we jump out of here and let you guys know on Wednesday or next Saturday. Probably Wednesday. Wednesday will be better off because then it gives everybody a time. We love y'all. Y'all are great. So happy that y'all come and check us out and spend time with us, for 2.5 hours, talking Star Wars. Tyler, thanks for joining us on the show. Angelina, I hope we didn't run you off. We are a Star Wars fan. We love Star Wars. We just criticize everything. And everybody else, that's been here for, forever and watching us, we really appreciate you guys. Stay outrageous, and may the Force be with you always.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. Lightsaber Radio is produced by Pickfilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Garrison Turcotte, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.